All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the satellite bracket of the Archon Team League. I'm Liquid Monk, and joined with me is Liquid Savitz, and our guest caster today is Archon Amaz. How are you doing, guys, Savitz?
I'm doing great. I mean, we just got the new expansion. There's so many cool strategies, so many cool new cards. Not only that, but a lot of the old cards, like Blackrock Mountain cards, seem viable now. You can build a lot of different kinds of decks. And truth be told, I think I've never been this hyped about seeing some competitive matches.
Yeah, I mean, we have like shamans on the rise, paladins are doing crazy token stuff, and even druid decks are starting to become really, really fast. So I'm definitely expecting some underdog classes being really, really represented. Even priest, for example, we see a lot of dragon priest so far. So I'm kind of excited to see what players are going to bring. And of course, this tournament is a $250,000 tournament after all. So you have to be a little bit serious when that much money is on the line.
Yeah, this is pretty much the first competitive tournament where we actually get to see the new TGT cards. I don't really want to put too much faith in your match against Trump Amaz, but that was like kind of like more of a show match.
Oh please, that was super competitive, man. I mean, I got a sneeze off a mirrored entity Grommash. And then when he killed my Ronin, it turned into Tyrion. So that was like, wow, that's perfect. Unfortunately, I think Freeze Mage is still pretty good in this format. So maybe we'll see some Temple Mage. I really hope so. It will be super fun.
Yeah, just so many different kinds.
A strong card.
Yeah, Effigy is insane.
Yeah. So before we go on to the matches, let's take a look at the rules for this tournament, and specifically the rules for the satellite bracket.
Okay. And there we go. So, well, we are in phase 2 right now, and we already completed phase 1. Yeah, there you go. That's the right one. Okay. So once again, it's the similar format as previously. Each player brings 2 decks, and there are 6 decks, 6 different classes per team. And then, of course, each deck is a blind pick. And once you win with a deck, then it's through, and you don't need to play it ever again. And of course, the first team to lock all their decks wins the match. There's also a bench rule whereby if a player loses 2 games in a row back to back, they actually are benched and they cannot play any further games until another teammate wins a game for them. So that's basically the format.
Yeah, so I think this, like, by bringing 6 decks to the tournament, I think in the first phase of the Archon Team League, every team brought, like, Hunter, Warrior, and Warlock. Those are, like, the standard decks, the 3 strongest classes. And then maybe the 4th strongest class was Mage. But now that TGT has come out, it's all, like, flipped on its head. I still expect to see plenty of Warriors, Patrons especially, some Hunters, and maybe even some Warlocks. But it's kind of like the underdog classes have gotten the most changes so far, so it's honestly anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how Hunter does right now. I feel like, even though there weren't all that many anti-aggro cards, there are some difficult matchups right now. For example, if you play against Shaman, there might be the healing wave. If you happen to encounter any dragons, be it, let's say, a Dragon Priest, there's the new 2-mana taunt, there's the new 4-mana taunt. How do you beat that as Hunter?
Yeah, it seems like the stat line is also really, really large as well, right? So like, you can just heal them up if you happen to like miss a 5-drop, for example, after you play the Twilight Guardian. And yeah, I guess as a hunter, you kind of want to play something like Ram Wrangler, right? And just king crush them. I guess that's one of the ways to deal with it. But I'm actually gonna predict that we're not gonna see too many hunters.
That's a pretty awesome prediction based on the fact that you're living with one of the teams that is playing right now, Team Archon, of course.
Right. I think there's going to be more shamans than hunters. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I would also be shocked if we saw hunters. I think there might be something there with the lock and load list, but the time has been so limited. DGT has only been out for 2 days, and I would be really shocked if somebody was brave enough to bring a lock and load list so fast. It might be something we see down the road, maybe in a month, but right now, I find it's really unlikely.
I think people are going for the more obvious combos with like the Thunderbolt Valiant with the Shaman and the Murloc Knight with the Paladin. Just the more obvious ones seem to be the ones.
With the Thunderbolt Valiant, you can't really go wrong that much. The card, even if you don't get an awesome synergy with it, the stat line is really solid at 3 and 6. If you play it on turn 7, you throw them up afterwards. you get the buff immediately. It's just it's so safe. It's just a safe pick.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, now, I want to remind you guys that we actually have 2 matches for today because this is the satellite bracket. We're gonna play pretty much like a double elimination bracket. Our second match of the day will be Force and Voice versus Nihilum, but our first match will actually be the rival Hearthstone teams of Archon and Tempo Storm. Amaz, I'm sure you have a lot to say about this rivalry.
Oh man. Actually, it's also interesting to point out that Team Archon coming in at 3rd place from phase 1 actually get to choose the bracket. And you know, I kind of tend to stay away from influencing them from choosing whatnot because you know they are the ones who are playing the games and you know they can form their own strategies and whatnot. But they're like, okay, let's just choose Temple Storm because they're the best matchup. I mean, that's the best way to phrase it, right? Of course, they kind of like for them put it in a good way where they're kind of trying to fight for the glory of the team owners. Where you know me and Reynad, maybe not the best of relationships, so hopefully, you know, we can win the glory for us. It's kind of like a tournament theme too, right?
Yeah.
Fits.
Yeah.
That's pretty
So-
interesting. But neither one of you is playing right now, so you just have to put your faith in the guys and
Yeah, exactly.
hope for the best. It's gonna
It'll be
be.
fun. It'll be interesting to see if Temple Storm would have picked Archon as the matchup if they actually went 3rd place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's pretty tough.
I do think that Archon is probably one of the best teams in the league. You know how like I collect stats all the time.
Okay. Of course.
Archon is the only team that has a 55% win rate among all 3 players over the course of Blackrock Mountain. So just statistically, if you just average all 3 players, Archon will come out the best.
Yeah, our guys are pretty solid, so I have faith in them. But yeah, Temple Storm has really good players too, so this is gonna be an exciting match. Let alone this new TGT meta that came out, and I think deck building, experienced deck builders are definitely gonna gain an edge, and that's something we didn't see in phase 1. I mean, it's just solid play for phase 1, right? You already have like your typical list, so an extra factor is always nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think both these teams are also known for deck building, so it's kind of interesting to see there. Like Reynad on Tempo Storm, obviously known for deck building. Hyped more known for Rogue deck building, even though Rogue probably didn't get too many cool tools in TGT. Gara known for like his Ramp Druid, and then we have Firebat, who's very known for like tinkering decks, also known for Ramp Druid. Zalay coming up with a combo Warlock in the first ESL tournament. So definitely everyone here has the potential to innovate.
Yeah.
How many completely new decks will there be? Or will there be just tweaks? How did the teams prepare for this? What are the different strategies? Like what strikes out to me first would be though kind of like divide it by classes and have each player maybe focus on 1 or 2 classes and try to do it like that. 2 days is not much. You can do a bit of theory crafting beforehand because all the cards were known. But theory crafting, from my experience, or my theory crafting maybe has been bad, but I couldn't nail any of the deck lists just like days before. I had to try out the cards, try out the synergies, what fits, what doesn't.
Yeah.
It's-
In my opinion, I think the only lists that are not going to change too much are Handlock and Freeze Mage, and everything else is going to be new. And I think because everybody's running these weird dragon decks and whatnot, aggro might be very favorite, like maybe aggro paladin. The ones with leopard gnomes and whatnot. So we'll have
Yeah.
to see.
And the 3-mana charger with Divine Shield design, I think it's a good fit in the Paladin. Potentially the new buff, I'm not sure if that is gonna, like the 3-mana +3 and Divine Shield buff. I think it's a cool card. I'm not sure if it will find its place, because there's already Blessing of Might, already Blessing of Kings. So can you fit it in? Maybe, but it's hard to tell. It requires some testing.
Yeah. Well, Amaz, you mentioned that you think Freeze Mage and Handlock will be the only decks that don't change too much. Now, what I'm really curious about is how many Patron Warriors will we see and how much that list actually changes.
Well, I don't think the new cards actually help patience that much. I mean, you're not gonna play the Bodafist Ogre to whirl on your own board, right? So minimum 1 from Zalay. That's what I'm guessing. And a total of actually I would say a total of 3. A total of 3.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing. I think somebody will, step out of their comfort zone and try Dragon Warrior, but a minimum of 1, definitely.
Yeah, a lot of people have been having success with different types of warriors. But patrons, like you mentioned, there's not that many new cards that you can put in patrons. But if you think about it from another point of view, how many new cards are there that hurt patrons, that make patrons weaker? There's very few. Personally, I was expecting to see some more hate cards, maybe like something with decent stats, stop charge or whatever. But there's not that many cards that would counter patron. So Patron is definitely still a solid pick, it's still a strong pick, but is there maybe something better, like this Varian Rune, does it make Control Warrior that little bit better than it used to be, to make it a better pick overall than the Patrons?
We need a Hungry Crab for Patron, right?
Yeah. I also feel that
a lot of those.
Yeah, I feel like some of the new decks actually like are really bad against patrons, like the new Paladin list, the new Shaman list. Even though they got some like strong buffs, they still have a lot of really weak creatures that are susceptible to Patron Warrior. So we'll see right there and then. I believe we're ready to just like almost ready to go into the first match. But before we do, we have a short video to show you guys.
Is the Doom Guard. And
Oh!
6-0, you know, he did react. He was pretty
Almost.
focused.
Yeah.
Attacking to something might matter. And turns out he just wants to go face and is that. Oh my god, the blowout.
Oh, so well. He played it. Yeah. We saw no win condition for him anymore, and he missed.
He's like out of steam, and he has Hellfire Healbot next turn.
Oh,
Wow! Oh my god, the top decks are real.
Look at that RD.
This is a silly day.
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is just, I don't know.
It's like, can we get like Shia LaBeouf on a green screen saying that? And...
Trump.
Oh, there it is! There's the reaction!
Yeah, you're right. That could actually.
Oh, he's hoping for the concede. He's agonizing Trump. Well played. Well played.
Yeah, like universe right now.
That's it.
And Kiara's gonna concede it, and Value
Triple
Down
bench.
goes for the crazy reverse sweep. Alex has to die.
No way. We already saw one Doomsayer today. Not possible.
Okay. Oh my god!
Is it not?
It's just barely short, right? Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. That's gotta be heartbreaking.
Oh, no matter what. The thing is, if the Doom Guard comes out, you're forcing Shadow Word Death, in which case Cabal is a bit less.
Which is fine.
It's
You
a
have
bit
Doc-
of a misplay. Yeah. Missed one
Exactly.
damage. He could have traded the abusive first, because he's trading anyway.
Yeah, you got it.
Actually, no, he healed a minion, so if it hit for 6.
Ooh!
Only
wait,
needs
wait.
an abusive.
Oh, man.
He's one off.
Oh, and that one missed damage actually cost him the game.
Yeah.
Definitely some pretty good moments there. We can see in the past few weeks. Unfortunately, Liquid was eliminated in the past week.
Yeah.
Sorry, me and Savitz.
Yeah. It's not bad. I'm happy to be casting here. I'm gonna be casting some exciting games. I'm gonna be watching some exciting games. There's a lot of pressure for deck building, but I would be lying if I didn't feel bad. I mean, $250,000. Yeah, feels bad, man.
Yep.
Okay, here's the lineups.
All right.
First.
Well, before we get into this exciting match, we have to thank our sponsors quite a bit. AlphaDraft.com, where you can draft your own Archon Team League fantasy team, and also the Amazon App Store, where they're doing a promotion right now, so you can enter for a 50% chance to win some 50 50% off to win 40 Hearthstone packs. Oh man, and they're pretty cool because
chance.
well, Amaz, it's 50% chance if you enter, right?
It's 50% chance. You either win or you lose, right? Or you don't lose.
Exactly.
You just don't win. Everybody's a winner, right?
Yeah. Well, I've been getting all my Hearthstone packs from the Amazon App Store, so definitely a good place to check out.
Indeed. All right. Well, looking at the lineups here, it seems like that we only see Priest on one side. Gar is playing Priest, and actually no Shamans. Oh man. So far, I guess I've been wrong for my prediction. Why do you think the Shaman is not represented, Savish?
I think maybe there wasn't enough time to prepare the deck list and figure out the right list. I've seen some players try it out with Striker. He was having decent success with it, but I think the main issue is not that Shaman would be bad, but it's just the preparation time. 2 days not enough to get the list right. It's a kind of completely new archetype with the totems. You can try to feed it into some old, like add some new cards to the old mid-range Shaman, but I think with all those totems, you gotta go for the totem theme, and yeah, it's something that we will see in a future weeks.
Okay, yeah, certainly something to keep an eye out for, I guess. Both players are bringing Paladin, so we definitely expect to see some new cards there. And what else do we have? Druids for both players. Engine Druid is really strong. Warriors as well. Only one mage from the Archon. And yeah, no hunters from Archon as well. So yeah, just one hunter from Gara.
Yeah, all the other 8 classes are represented here. 4 classes are overlapping. And Team Archon with the Rogue and Mage for Firebat. And Tempestrom going with the Hunter and Priest. I can't wait to see Gara's deck list. He's known to be a unique deck builder already, and now with the new expansion, oh man.
All right, well, we'll see. First match is going to start with 6-1 Druid and Hyped on Warrior. Hyped has been playing a lot of Control Warrior in Phase 1, right?
I think he mostly played Patron Warrior, but he has like sprinkled in some Control Warrior here and there, especially in the first 2 weeks where he lost, where his team eventually lost. I think after Kaldi was recruited as the analyst for the team, they began focusing more on Patron Warrior.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago against our team, against Team Liquid, Hype did play Control Warrior. But it seems that he's going with the Patron now. You see the Motion Commander already in the starting hand.
All right, guys, are you ready for your first official TGT match with brand new specking decks?
Yeah, let's remind viewers that TGT is out, and we don't see any TGT cards so far. There's a Dread Corsair though. We haven't seen that in a while. So that's
TGT card.
New pirate. Oh my god.
This is a bit disappointing. I wanted to see like so many new cards. The hype is real. TGT out, and then we get this for the first game. Oh well. It's getting better.
Hey, we might actually see a pirate warrior. I mean, one can only hope, right?
Yeah. Only seen 5 cards so far.
Well, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, the new druid list definitely. It's not 5-5 yet or 5-6. Oh no, they're making us relive our loss.
No. What is happening? We need to update those overlays. We'll do that soon, hopefully.
That's all right. Well, I think the new druid list. Well, there have been first of all new druid lists coming out. Amaz, I know you're a fan of the Amnesia druid list that has. It's like really low curving. It has. It doesn't have any 3-drops. It has 4 drops, and basically it allows you to curve from the new 2-3 that came out in druid into a 4-drop really effectively.
Yeah, I mean it just makes the deck so much more consistent, right? Because you're running so many wild growths and innervates as well that you can actually fit like how many 4-drops is in that deck? It's actually like close to 8, right? You got Shredders, you got Yetis, you got Keepers, and I think you have something else, but maybe not. But anyways, we're looking at this match, and it seems like 6-1's gonna start with Emperor turn, and that's gonna be amazing.
Turn 3 Emperor. Not only that, but the Warrior actually has no way to kill that right now. He needs the top deck a card to kill.
Oh, there we go.
That was very, very important.
Yeah, and Emperor living for 2 turns for a Druid is just like, yeah, that's just it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if that wasn't dealt with, it would have been another 5 mana from it.
Ooh, yet another innervate. You just saw 1 execute being used, so why not just throw out Dr. Boom?
All right, well there you go. So is this like is Sixo like super ahead now, and Hype really has no way to come back, or can he find something here?
Six are definitely way ahead. This is gonna be a rough match, but it's not over yet. It's possible that Druid whiffs on the draws and now starts drawing, like, let's say, Wild Growth after Wild Growth, and the minions won't be enough. But
He would
it's
have to
definitely-
basically. He basically have
Turn-
to draw exactly that though.
Mm.
I mean,
Turn
like
3 Emperor, turn 4 Doctor Boom. How do you deal with that?
Oh man. I guess Hype's hand is also really bad, so he has to find some more card draw to and survive at the same time, which is looking like a very hard task to do. What about
He
this?
can clear this. That Spite and the Whirlwind combined with the Cruel Taskmaster is a full clear.
Yeah, you can also use one Whirlwind here, just save the inner rage, I guess.
Yeah. And he can even drop the Corsair afterwards. Not too bad, I guess.
oh, 15 to face.
Oh man!
Dr. Boom was 1.5 Pyro Blast right there.
Oh my god. Well, there you go.
Oh, that's the Wild Growth that I was talking about. Not a good draw at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, at this like right now, you're so far ahead. You can just like keep on getting the board, and any card you draw is probably good. I mean, you want to dodge those innervates, and maybe if Six is
Spells.
playing Darnassus Aspirant, you don't want to draw that either.
I think all the spells are actually bad. But well, not Force of Nature. That's gonna eventually let him kill. But if he rots here and Druid of the Claw gets dealt with, there's a lot of bad draws. Yeah, any spell is bad.
Okay.
I think we also have to consider like what kind of list that 6-0 is running. If he's running one of the newer lists that is more optimized for ladder, this might not be as good. Oh, that's a perfect draw
Oh
right there.
man,
This
that
game
is
is not over.
Well, actually, it's just turned. Was it 180? It's just a big swing on the other side now. How does 6-0 deal with this board now?
Oh, this is incredible.
Oh
What
my
a
God.
huge stop play. That was exactly the card that he needed, and not only do you need it, but he needs it right now. One turn later, probably too late already.
Well, 6 3/3s are a lot of 3/3s. Oh, does double swipe actually clear the board later? You can actually like hero power something right now, right? And then set up for the double swipe later? Or does it work that way?
No, some of the like the 1 HP ones are gonna die first, and then the. Yeah, I don't think it
No.
works.
Well,
Oh.
actually, if you... Oh, it doesn't work
think
that way.
you-
Yeah, the 1 HP are gonna die first.
I think at this point, 6-0, there's like no way you clear these patrons off in this game, so you might have to just go for some kind of face play.
Just swipe the face. Oh man. Yeah, swipe the face, wild growth, and then you draw Force of Nature and win the game, right?
Yeah, that's pretty simple.
It sounds ridiculous, but I think it might just be the best play.
Yeah, I think it's correct. He has to go for it. I mean, there's no way he can clear those patrons here. There's no options really.
Alright. Well, you have 18 damage coming to next turn, so that's 36 damage over 2 turns. Yeah, that's probably the only play. See if Six is gonna go for that line. Oh, there you go. Oh, he's gonna hero part instead? Oh man, what if he draws Force of Nature? Oh man.
Okay, there has to be some. He's going to. Okay, so. I actually don't understand this.
Yeah, this seems one attack there is kind of negligible. Is there anything that deals 4 damage?
There's nothing that he can draw for the lethal
Yeah,
after the armor up. I mean,
right. Oh, what if he top this? No, he top this Drill the Claw. He can't. It's just armor up. Yeah, exactly. So, might get punished there.
yeah. If the top deck card is a Force of Nature, that's gonna be pretty devastating.
Yeah.
But if it's not, I guess it won't matter. I have no idea why he would hero power there. There has to be some kind of like thought behind that, but I just don't see it.
Maybe it's just maybe he didn't think about that.
The only thing I can think of is if he top decks the roots, and then
Oh, the
and,
living
and
roots.
then
Oh yeah, that's true.
yeah, living roots and hype doesn't armor up, but that would be like kind of ridiculous that you don't armor up in that situation.
Oh yeah, exactly. All right, so here we don't technically die. We can swipe off the frothing. But we are kind of close to dying here.
And he still has the chance to draw the Force of Nature next time.
That's true, but over at Hype side, he's actually 2 damage off lethal, 3 damage if 6-0 uses hero power this turn.
So any weapon would do it. Dread Corsair if he plays another one.
Right.
Inner Rage.
There's a lot of outs.
There's a lot of any Whirlwind effect, anything to split the last remaining 3/2 patron basically would do it. Any spell that deals 1 damage.
Is this it?
Or weapon, or this they go more than half.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, there you go.
enough.
Inner Rage is going to do it. That's a deal.
I don't feel like I want to call that a top deck because it's like truth be told, I think like 2/3 of his deck was lethal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Something like Acolyte or Armor Smith might not have been, but let's get to the first game.
Yeah, so just want to point out that first game did not include a single TGT card. Not a single one.
Oh man. Well, hey, well, at least we don't have to see Patron Warrior again, right? That's
true. We got it out of the way straight away. I'm happy
Right.
about it.
Yeah. We probably have to see one more game actually when Zalay plays it, but
Yeah.
after that we should be all TGT from then on.
Zalay playing Patron Warrior, unheard of.
Yeah.
He never plays that deck.
Exactly. Well, Tempo Storm off to a pretty good start, getting 1 point on the board. And now, of course, players will have to change, choose new players, or it's the same. But of course, if 6-0 goes again, and he loses, then he's going to be benched, and it's going to be, quite hard to navigate from there when your opponent knows that you're not gonna bring 2 specific decks to the next match.
Yeah, for sure. I would be shocked if they sent 6-0 again. There might be some mind games going into it, so if Tempo Storm thinks that 6-0 won't go again, they might pick the decks that are bad against 6-0's decks, maybe. But if the Archon tries to counter that, yeah, 6-0 again. But there's so many decks open. I think it's better to just have somebody else go. Anything should work.
Yeah, I feel like just Archon in general, they generally use a fairly similar lineup each week with Firebat playing the Warlock instead of Rogue and 6-0 playing Rogue instead of the Paladin or Druid. So it seems like 6-0 got like the new decks and all the other decks were like pushed out of the way to make up for these new decks. So I think the Paladin is definitely going to be something special. And it's definitely going to be, or probably going to be at least the mid-range version instead of like the old aggro version that everyone has been using in the previous weeks of Archon Team League. So I probably would want to see that deck.
I'm really interested in the Rogue. What do you guys think? Because for me, and from what I've heard from some other people, the Rogue might be the big loser of TGD. There weren't that many exciting new cards, and the Pirate Synergy that was introduced. How strong is it really?
Well, I played Burgle against Trump the other day, and I got. We're gonna see it now, yeah. Firebat's gonna play Rogue, but I played Burgle against Trump the other day. His Tempo Mage, and I got Flamewaker and Effigy, and that was pretty insane. I think Burgle might just be a better sprint because you can always prep Burgle, and that's like free. So I'm gonna give it high hopes that that's gonna be a good card.
Yeah, but it's 2 cards for 2 cards. Like it doesn't really get you anywhere except that you start some combos, and it's so unreliable. I don't know.
I mean, the thing is like class cards actually counter their own class, right? We got like Sacrificial Pact, Druids. We got like Naturalize and Mulch and stuff like that. I think it's actually pretty good if you look at it that way. And you're not getting any neutrals, right? You're not getting any wisps and stuff like that.
But isn't like strictly worse than Thought Steal is because. With Thought Steal, you get playable cards. You get 2 playable cards, but with Burgle, you might get the unplayable ones, like Eye for an Eye.
Well, not quite, right? Because Thought Steal, sometimes you do get unplayable cards when you play against like Deadly Poison as a priest and stuff like that. And then if Totem Mike starts seeing play in like the Totem Shaman, then actually that's an unplayable card too. And I think the main draw is that you actually are having only class cards. You also include their class spells, and a lot of people don't include their spells, right? So, for example, an aggro paladin might not run Consecrate, and you can never thought steal a Consecrate from an aggro paladin, right? And you can actually do that with Burgle. So that's kind
true.
of different. Yeah.
Yeah, against like Shaman, for example, with the new... Well, the Overload is pretty hurting, but with the new AoE... AoE in general is good against Shaman, so now there's both Lightning Storm and that you can still. So, I guess it can, but it's just so much RNG, a little bit too much for my taste.
Ooh, here we go.
DGD is out, confirmed.
So we have one golden and one non-golden, so you can keep track of which one you drew, right?
I used to do that when I'm testing a card, like whether I should run one or two.
Okay.
Like when I was experimenting with the double Doom Hammers the first time, I was playing with one golden and one regular one. I was tracking the golden one because I knew that the regular one, that one belongs there for sure. So I wanted to see like how well the other one performs.
Okay, that's one way to actually test it out, which is pretty cool. Firebat rocking the Hearthstone Cup. Pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. No, it looked like he replaced the Wild Growth based on the or like the graphics, but I'm sure he kept it. Absolutely,
Yeah,
100%
yeah.
sure that he kept it.
No way you don't keep that.
No,
And,
way you play, you don't keep it.
And hey, it seems like Hype is still playing Shade. It's going to be pretty strong. So Hype is going to have a turn 3 play with the coin Wild Growth.
Yeah, this is kind of this is kind of exactly the type of deck I would expect from Hyped. Back when GVG first came out, he played some Mech Druid even. So he definitely has been, like, he pretty much only plays specific classes like the Rogue, the Druid, the Mage, the Warrior. But within those classes, he likes to innovate quite a bit. He likes to experiment.
Fair enough. Wow, Innervate. That's going to allow some extra combos down, but it seems like a very, very juicy Keeper of the Grove here.
It is, but he could also play the combat and then innervate the hero power. I mean, that way he would get a stronger minion on the board. So,
that's actually really sick, because like you turn your hero power to 3 attack, and your opponent usually plays like what, Farseers and SIs, so that could be something.
Exactly, and then
Keeper
you also kind of you also kind of force your opponent to clear off the Savage Combatant if you play it, because it's always going to be a threat.
True.
But there might be some easy ways to deal with it, and the Keeper is against the Rogue. The Keeper value is not that high. Keeper is a card that sometimes you don't want to play like this. You want to save the silence for something in particular. But against Rogue, you don't really need to save it. So it seems like it's the perfect card here, but yeah.
Oh wow. So Hype is actually gonna go over that.
Yeah, it's more powerful at this point, and it's gonna pay off. We don't know exactly what's in Hype's deck, so if there's no, let's say, a powerful 7 drop that he wants to try innervate on maybe turn 5, then this makes a lot of sense.
Well, is it actually gonna pay off? Because Firebat actually has a the prep sap play with the Violet Teacher. That seems actually pretty powerful. And I don't think sapping a Keeper of the Grove is that good, right? So I'm not sure if that was the best.
No, you're actually right, yeah. But Hype does have like a way to deal with it, but it's not that efficient. He needs to unstill the Shade.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you use the Keeper, you actually save and innovate for later as well. So in this sense, Firebat kind of killed Hype's innovate as well.
Like for this, for example. Yeah, that's exactly what that's what I was thinking about, saving the innervate. But yeah. So in the end, he actually got a little bit punished for it.
Yep, in the end. So now the Keeper is kind of like, you know, pretty dead, I think. Like, when are you gonna play it? Are you gonna play it now?
I don't know, this is a painful board for sure. Probably has to like take the Shade out of stealth, but it's not gonna get like 0 value then. There's no way you can leave a teacher up.
Well, Firebat's hand is not looking too insane either. Can imagine maybe just equipping the Assassin's Blade this turn.
I think so, and then he can trade the 1/1s for those minions. Playing the blade later on might be difficult. Like, I know he has like a decent time to play it, so why not take it?
I want to note that Firebat is playing like the more Mr. Yugut version of the Rogue, whereas before he's playing more of the standard version that players like Dog likes to use, and I think it's because 6-0 has been playing the Mr. Yugut version so much, and you can definitely see Firebat's teammates influencing him in his decision as to what deck to bring.
All right, no, that's a fair assessment. And actually go with the tempo play more so than the assassin's play. But assassin's play is pretty tempo, but yeah, it's gonna actually get wrecked by the savage combatant there.
That is the perfect savage combatant.
Yeah.
So this card is actually good. I might have undervalued it because when I was looking at them, like, no, Shredder is too good. I would never play this unless it's like a strictly a beast synergy deck of some sort. But there's no beast synergy to be seen, and that was a really good turn with it.
Yeah, I think it's actually interesting because when I first saw the card, I was like, it's a must pick in arena, right? But like, further like calculating it actually doesn't lose to Shredder because if you play first and your opponent plays Shredder, you can actually hero power down to Shredder, right? So it doesn't strictly die to Shredder.
Yeah, if you have the inner weight or the extra mana, that is true.
Yeah.
But
not only that.
Stats.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's worse stats. It's kills Belcher too, right? Like, it's interesting. It's not a strictly worse card than Shredder, I would say.
Yeah. Well, not only that, pretty much all these Druid lists these days, they run the 4 like.
I think we lost Monk.
No, we lost Monk. Well, that's not a first, but well, we'll have to just imagine what he is trying to say. But here, what would you play, Savish? Would you play Ancient of Lore or would you play Emperor?
I think the Lothep is an option too. He could hit for 10 and next turn he's guaranteed to get another. I would play the Lothep.
Okay. Yeah, actually kind of weird that Firebat actually hit the 1/1 onto the Savage Combatant, right? So this just pushes way more damage. Also you got the Hero Power. Right, exactly.
Yeah, and with that Roar in hand and the Lothep effect working, if there's no Blade Flurry, I think he would be dead. But there is the Flurry, so... Oh, do you go phase? I would consider doing it the Lothep. Maybe he figures that he wants to use the S-Eye effect on the Lothep next.
Okay. Well, there you go. Blade Flurry is gonna come down, and man, this Lothep is gonna deal a lot of damage. And the combo is already in the hand, so it's looking pretty good for Hype here. Just gonna heal himself, I believe, because you have all the cards necessary to win.
I mean, I wouldn't have blamed him for just going for like Emperor Hero Power there to put him down to 14, because with 4 cards in the Rogue's hand, I just don't see the lethal really happening. With 8 mana, no weapon equipped yet, but yeah, that's gonna be it.
Alright, and yeah, Hype is gonna take the smash for Temple Storm, and they are 2-0. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Very good start. Not the best of start for Archon.
No, not at all. But Temple Storm were off to a great start.
Yeah.
That Rogue didn't. It fell a little bit flat here.
Yeah.
But to be unfair, the Druid starting hand was quite amazing. We're going coin Wild Growth into Shade, into 4-drop. Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think like Druid typically, just statistically, it has a edge in this matchup with 56 to 36 win rate. That's about 61%, and I feel like Druid got more buffs in this expansion than Rogue did. You saw the Rogue pretty much, again, they had no TGT cards, while the Druid at least had something, especially the Savage Combatant, which actually put it in a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, here you go, guys. TGT cards are actually good. You actually do want to play them to give an edge.
I want to see more.
Yeah, more different. I think it's also a thing where because there's so much on the line that players might be like, they want to kind of play it on the safe side, but sometimes safe might not be the best way. You kind of have to you can either win or you can either lose, right? There's no in between. Where if you win a couple of games, okay, you can have some compensation or whatnot. So we'll see if there are other decks that are more creative, I guess.
Yeah, the format is really punishing if you bring a new deck which falls flat. Like you can actually go 0-6 with a deck in this. So
oh yeah, that's true.
It's scary. It's really scary to bring something completely fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hype
I
is
feel
done
like
for the day. That's insane.
you can cheer on his teammates, but I do feel like that's probably one of the reasons people aren't bringing Shaman to the foray. It's that Shaman, like, you see a lot of it on ladder, but there hasn't really been a list that like is just super blow your mind amazing, right? And I've heard a lot of people say that maybe the new Paladin lists are just better than the Shaman list. They both play very similarly, but the upgrades of like the Murloc, the new Murloc card from the Paladin, in addition to just like the standard good cards from Paladin, like Muster for Battle and Shielded Minibot, might just be better than all the upgrades that Shaman got.
Yeah, you would imagine that Totem Golem should be pushing the edge over Shaman. But I think one of the main problems with Totem Golem is not the card itself now, is that if you don't draw Totem Golem early on, you're just hero powering. And then Shamans just can't really skip, early turns, right? They need to like put stuff early on and then support that with like, Tuskar Totemic, Thunderbolt Valiant, maybe even Fire Elemental. So the early start is just too important for Shamans to do.
No, absolutely. It's a bit of a weird card. Obviously, it's great, but personally, it hasn't. I think that it hasn't been that amazing. It's a great card, but it does also mess up the mana a little bit when you go for the Overlord. When you play it on turn 2, your turn 3 is quite often just going to be hero power.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. I definitely see where you're coming. When the card was first announced, I thought it would just be completely revolutionizing Shaman. But it's more the fact that it's kind of cost 3 mana with the overload effect. And if you're just playing it like a 3/4 for 3 mana, it's not that good. It's just mainly good for tempo. But if you draw it on a later turn, like let's say like turn 8, you're kind of paying 3 mana for a 3/4. And that's just like average to below average, I would say.
Yeah, that's exactly what I didn't rate Totem Golem in my top 10 cards. I'm still gonna stick with it. It's been pretty insane, the games I played against it. If you're not, say, a Tempo Mage or Flame Cannon, like a perfect answer. But overall, it's good. I still wouldn't say it's a top 10 card.
Yeah. I just think like Shielded Minibot is better, for example.
Much more versatile. Yeah. Probably.
The Shielded Minibot is so good, though. There's not many better 2-drops in the game. It might even be the best one.
Well, here's a new matchup. Zalae is going to use Warrior, and Gara is going to respond with a Hunter. So Patron versus, hopefully, a Ram Wrangler deck, or maybe a Lock and Load deck. But according to Savage, well, we probably might not see one this early on.
Yeah, it's unlikely to see any Lock and Load. But it's Gara, so who knows?
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, Gar is certainly known for bringing his own flair to tournaments, but because he's playing in a team league, I think he's less likely to innovate as much because he is not only playing for himself but for the team as well. And he would feel so bad if he lost 0-6 with his new creation.
But sometimes you gotta go with your gut feeling too, right? You know that this deck is actually really, really good. I think if you bring a new creation to a format like this and your opponent doesn't know what's happening, then you can actually surprise them and like get a win immediately, and they can't face it again. So I think that's a very big plus. And there you go, Bear Trap for Gara.
Well, that's our third TGT card of the day.
Wow, and 2 of the previous ones were the same. Oh man.
No. One was regular, the other was golden.
Okay, so they are kind of different. And of course, Patron Warrior did not receive any love from TGT. Obviously, we do not need a Grimmer Patron, a 5/5 that summons another 5/5.
Grimmer Patron.
That would be terrible.
Grimace Patron, a 7/7 that summons a 7/7. No, that card is terrible. It gets BGH'd.
Oh yeah. That's true. Okay.
Maybe like a Grim Frothing Berserker. You get more Frothing Berserkers when
Oh no.
The frothingest Berserker.
We might see that in a Tavern Brawl, right? That might happen.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that one.
Well, I guess the Frothing Berserker, the upgrade of that would be Frothing Berserkist. Right.
Good, Monk. Good. Very nice. A very slow start for Gara, unfortunately, for him. Skip the turn 1 drop. Usually you want to see a Web Spinner if he's playing the mid-range Hunter. So Soleil is gonna immediately drop down the Frothing. How do we like that move?
It seems like it's okay because of the double Frothings in his hand. I mean, he could have just went with Ghoul, I suppose.
Yeah, I feel like that Ghoul was kind of like the replay. Like, Coin is kind of important as well in Patron, but then I guess Soleil's kind of like the expert here.
Yeah, definitely because of the double Frothing. If he only had one Frothing, I can't imagine he would have ever done this.
Well,
Yeah, well,
That looks like an easy whirlwind Cruel Taskmaster to me,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
Pop the
that
spider.
seems really good. I was about to say that guard drawing the West sooner was very, very key because now the Houndmaster has that much, like basically double chance of activating it. But yeah, Zole just wants to clear the board here. You're against the Hunter, right? The later game it goes, the more the more likely it is for you to win.
Oh man, that frothing is actually getting huge. So that's why he played the frothing on turn 2.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Well done.
Well,
Really
not
nice.
only that.
Yeah, it's actually gonna pop the trap, and the frothing is at 10 attacks, so this is looking pretty good for Zole.
Is it bear trap? Yes, it is bear trap.
Yes.
Oh, that was painful.
Pyroblast!
Oh man. Alright, so can you actually get any tells from Gar hitting the Frothing Berserker with the bow?
Yeah,
I
because
think so.
if it were a freezing trap, which is the obvious trap, you would hit the Cruel Taskmaster all the time.
I've never seen that play before TGT, so you have to figure out it's the new trap, because with the old traps, nobody would do that play.
Nobody would take 10 to the face.
No, there's no way. Like, if it's a freezing, you kill the other one. If it's explosive, you go face.
Alright.
Yeah,
I mean, it
but
doesn't make sense to do it with snakes. Maybe with snakes you could have done it.
Zole might be thinking, are these mind games or like is Guard did that so quickly, so he seems so sure of himself.
Yeah. So he's actually sure. He's actually not trying to do mind games, I guess. Lothar was a perfect draw here. Turn 5.
Oh yeah, very good.
Alright, so it's a bear trap. How do you deal with it the best?
You really want a weapon to deal with it the best, but they just aren't coming to Zole. And Zole is his patron warriors, or his patron decks typically run 2 Fire War Axes. So that's 4 weapons that he has the chance to draw, but he just hasn't drawn them yet.
Right. This is actually pretty sick how it is actually a bear trap. Because now it's forcing Zole to actually trade into this Lothar.
Yeah. Now he knows for sure which one it is. If there was any question about it, now he knows.
And also, let's not forget that the bear trap actually is a trap, so it will buff the Eagle Horn bow.
Oh yeah, that is important.
Yeah, I'd almost forgotten about that because in the Tavern Brawl last week, there were no Eagle Horn bows, but there were bear traps.
Right. Definitely quite a difficult turn. Oh.
Yeah. Probably throwing away one of the war songs here. The second one doesn't seem very valuable. Oh, even the cool. Alright.
So it's bear trap for sure. I mean, all the other traps were tested. I guess it could be explosive.
Yeah.
They're kind of similar. Oh, it's 2. Alright.
Oh, that's true. He actually has not tested for explosives, but he knows that it's not explosives based on the bow attack on the 2 HP frothing to take them to face.
Okay, yeah, so problem solving basically says that it's not explosive.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
How sick of a bluff would it be if it were explosive, though?
Wait, what? No. That would be...
To extend the face for no reason. That's the best bluff ever.
Oh, man. Alright, Animal Companion.
There you go.
It's Misha.
Oh, look, the bear came out.
Bear did come out after all. Alright. Oh, that's the perfect card. Came a little bit too slow, but I think it's really good. You actually have the Battle Rage to actually back that up. Very
Yep,
sweet.
he definitely needs more cards.
Yeah.
I'm kinda glad that Nimsh isn't casting because I couldn't bear his jokes about this.
Oh.
That was happening sometimes during this cast, definitely, huh? Well, this is a pretty good turn for Gar as well. We put a lot of power on the board. And right back to Zole. Haunter Creeper was played after the Despite, so the Despite Whirlwind is not gonna kill the 1/1 spiders that come out.
Yeah, but it seems like a really nice turn here with the Acolyte and the Cruel Taskmaster. You can use the Acolyte on the spider. The Cruel Taskmaster you can use the effect from the Cruel Taskmaster to clear the last spider. Maybe run the Cruel Task into the the Houndmaster. It's really a clean board clear here.
Nice. Wow, another Battle Rage too. More card draw. And it also seems like that Zalae is actually not running Armorsmith because we see that Taskmasters are in the list. You know, usually don't see Taskmasters, right? Usually it's either Taskmaster or Armorsmith. So Zalae actually needs to kill Gar for a win condition and not just armor up to like, you know, millions of armor.
Yeah, I kind of want to see the Cruel Taskmaster on one of the Haunted Creepers and not the Acolyte. Because Acolyte is going to be drawing the maximum amount of cards anyway.
Right, that makes sense.
Okay, we need just to do it.
Oh, there we go. And there's a whirlwind as well.
Wow. At this point, Zalae has everything he needs.
Oh, Hunter's Mark is everything you do not need.
Yeah. And second Bear Trap doing absolutely nothing.
So is this a problem with the Bear Trap? Is that if your opponent never goes face, it actually does nothing?
Well, yeah, I mean, usually you win if your opponent never goes face, but... yeah, it seems pretty bad here, gotta be honest.
I think it's the fact that Gar is playing a combo deck, and a combo deck doesn't necessarily need to like consistently go face. They just need to go off once. They can like kind of stall the game, clear the board, and then when they're ready, they can go face and easily deal with the Bear Trap.
I've never seen the Bear Trap in play before. I haven't even seen it on a ladder. And this is not enough games to be calling it bad just yet, but it has been very bad in this game.
Yeah, certainly doesn't seem too good at this current predicament.
Yeah. Oh man. But I guess it's kind of the problem with all the traps. All the traps are sometimes bad, you throw the wrong one. Freezing is probably the most consistent one.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Sap is just still the best.
Yeah. So, is this lethal?
Alright, well...
Not even coming.
I guess if you don't know what is happening with the traps, then you kind of have to like play a bit safe. I think Execute is going to be played here to save some health.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and
I feel like there might have been some kind of... maybe not. Maybe there's no lethal. Like Warsong, Patron, Death Spite, override the Death Spite with the Fireworks.
Yeah, maybe, but then...
There's not enough mana for everything.
I mean, even if it is, it's so complicated. Why not just wait a turn for the Emperor to proc, so now you can play your whole hand next turn?
Yeah, I mean, this is so safe. There's no
wow,
anything.
Gar just does not want to play anymore. This is just like... it's just too gross.
Yeah.
Yep. And Zalae gets a win and puts Archon on the board.
Yeah, those patrons, man. Zalae, one of the best patron players in my opinion in the world, and they can really convincing win over the Bear Traps. That deck, I'm interested to see if there's any more new cards. Maybe he's playing the what's it called, Ram Wrangler, right?
Yeah, Ram
Could
Wrangler.
make
Oh,
some sense.
that's a cool way you said it. You you rolled your G's. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
It definitely makes sense in that kind of deck. And as you mentioned, Savitz, Zalae, he is a very good patron player. And I think someone like posted on Reddit, they like took all the games from player streams and they took win percentages. And Zalae did indeed have the highest win percentage playing Patron Warrior on stream.
Well, there you go. TT is out, and the first tournament Patron is 100% win rate.
Oh man, that's pretty depressing.
That's not. Well, maybe it's just like the matchups, I guess. Maybe the counter to Patron is not found yet. Let's put it that way. That might sound a little.
Yeah, I mean, Patron versus mid-range Hunter. Previously, it was favored towards Patron. It was 52 to 43, so that's 55%. And I don't think the Bear Traps are enough to like swing that matchup around. It might even hurt the matchup, to be honest.
Okay, I see. Hey, Monk, why do your numbers never add up to 100%? Is it because it's a tie?
Wait, no, it's the games one. So 52 to 43.
Games one. Okay,
Yeah.
that's why. All right, interesting.
Can't wait to see more decks from Archon. Because like so far we've seen 3 decks from Archon, and we haven't seen a single DGT card. Out of all the teams, I thought Archon might be the most likely team to bring out new cards, because there's so many great deck builders. So it's also a really large team with Purple Trunk and the others also helping out with the decks. But
yeah, and orange,
wow.
right? But okay,
Yeah, orange.
I can confirm that the players are paid pretty well, so they do have money to buy TGT packs. Okay, let's just get that out of the way.
Okay.
But yeah, whether they did buy TGT packs or not remains the question. But I did see, well, I mean, Firebat and Soleil at least, they are in the house, and they did play a lot of TGT decks. But maybe in the end, they decided that just normal decks are just more consistent, you know?
Yeah, and they can easily get TGT packs from Amazon, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Amazon App Store.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal for packs, for TGT packs. I would definitely visit there if you're missing some TGT cards.
Oh.
Wow, Savage.
Yeah, I mean, everybody needs packs right now, so why not get them from Amazon if the discount is good?
Yep, indeed. All right, so I think it's one of the problems with Tempo Storm right now is that hype is through, right? So if Gar actually queues again, it's going to be very awkward because they know that Eloise is gonna be next because of the bench rule. So if I'm Archon right now, well, I mean, if I'm playing in Team Archon's roster right now, okay.
Amas confirmed leaving Archon.
I would actually expect Eloise to be next. So I would bring a pretty good counter to like the Warlock or the Paladin. And does a counter to that exist in Archon's lineup?
Well, the problem is there's so many different types of Warlock and so many different types of Paladin out there right now that I would say it's pretty difficult to like find a counter to both of them. Patron Warrior does seem to be a good counter to like all Paladin lists and maybe like the Zoo list if Eloise is running Zoo, but Patron Warrior is already out, so I can't really think of too much.
Okay, well, the Rogue versus Warlock matchup is the one up next. We already know that Rogue is running the, the weapon buff deck with the Auto Barbers, the Assassin's Blade, stuff like that. But Eloise, hey, who knows? We might see a new creation.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see some new cards and there's a Wrath card right away.
New card! Hey, Wrath card, I think a lot of people gave it too much hate, right? They were like, oh, I shield slap from 30 and then you deal 30 damage to the face. Obviously, that's the first thing I think of. But if you look at it a different way, it's actually just a Flamer Imp, right? And Flame Imp is so good, why not just play something that's a bit bigger?
Yeah, I mean, it does cost one more mana too, but still, it's a lot of stats, and I don't think you can replace Juggler with it, but maybe the Haunted Creeper. Haunted Creeper is really low pressure, and whenever I see a Zoo play a Haunted Creeper against me on turn 2, I'm really happy, because I see, yes, it's fast deck, but it plays 1 attack power, so Wrath card is a huge threat, and if you don't have the Frostbolt or similar card for it straight away, it can easily deal 8 or 12 damage.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. I mean, it's a VG, you play a lot of Handlock, right? And when your opponent plays like Egg into Haunted Creeper, like how do you feel versus a Flame Imp versus a Wrath card? Yeah,
I'm always like terrified of the Knife Jugglers and Flame Imps, and whenever I see anything else on those early turns, and it's so great.
Exactly. All right. Well, Firebat has a very good answer here. The backstab.
Oh yeah, Firebat has exactly the cards he needs to fight for this early game. Eloise's hand is so nice, but Firebat has the answers.
I think so at this point, Eloise would just kill herself without actually ever taking a single point of damage.
That's so funny. I mean, 2 Wrath cards, 2 Flame Imps. It's gonna be a lot of damage to Eloise's face, and when you add the life tap damage on top of it, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
And playing against Rogue, there's always like things like Eviscerates. It's actually gonna add up to quite a bit.
Indeed. But I mean, what other choices do you have? Oh, Lance Carrier. It's pretty cool.
That's some synergy with the Nerubian Egg.
But wouldn't at that point Abusive be better? I think you want to play Lance Carrier on the minion that survives, right? That's like otherwise, why would you play Abusive?
Yeah, that's true. It's in this situation, it's strictly worse. Yeah, that is true. I'm not a huge fan of Lance Carrier, but I see some people have moderate success with it.
I have to say, this is almost definitely a Chinese list. I've seen a lot of Chinese players really innovating with their Zoo decks. After all, like China is kind of like the land of the Zoo, where previously in the last year, or in 2014 at least, pretty much everyone qualified through 2 BlizzCon off of China with their Zoo decks.
Are we gonna see a prep oil? I think we are.
Yep, I think we are. Definitely. You can re-equip a new dagger as well. And, oh man, Eloise playing 3 flame imps pretty much in total. It's going to get her down solo. 14 life at turn 3. Wow.
Oh my. Now, how do you play the Frat card?
Flame
the
juggler.
damage from a Blade Flurry is going to be quite amazing.
Well, I guess you want to try to roll the knife juggler first, the flame juggler first, right? I mean, if it actually kills it, you can actually put your buff on the egg, and that's actually good minion, right? Would you play a 2/2 Death Rattle that when the opponent can't deal with it, it just keeps on dealing 2 damage every turn?
Yeah.
I
It's a
probably.
huge deal. Like, if does she hit the hit? Hit the hit. The juggle.
yeah.
See?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Oh, gonna go with the Wrath card instead? Oh man,
Blade
more
Flurry would be
damage.
lethal, right? No, not. Oh, would it? Yeah, it
Blade
would.
Flurry would be
That's-
lethal, because wait,
Yeah,
actually,
that is right.
what if it's don't play the Wrath card.
I think you have to, or like
have
if you
to?
don't, like yeah, you have to. If you don't, like there's no way to win.
That's so
you just have-
brutal.
You have like 1 dead card in your hand.
Yeah, you're never gonna play it now, right?
Yeah, so yeah, with this line of play, like she has 1 dead card in her hands. She
Oh,
needs to
man.
run like Fist of Jaraxxus in her to get some use out of that now.
Okay. Well, Firebat actually whiffed here. And
Yeah, but Firebat should
pass.
have time. But Firebat doesn't need much more. All Firebat needs is something like a deadly poison or another Avis Raid.
Yeah, that's true. So
That's
right
like-
now, you're
Why?
Zoo. You're stuck at this point where you can't tap because you lose life. You can't play Wrath Guard because you lose life. So you, man, you're just going with what you have on the board right now, I guess. Oh man, that just feels so bad.
It's so ridiculous. But I think that if there's a flurry in the rogue's hand, Eloise is gonna die anyway, or lose the game anyway. So I think she has to play the rat card here.
Okay, that's actually a very good enough. Yeah, pretty good assessment.
If there's a flurry, there's no way to win.
What a predicament. So I guess
Backstab would give lethal then. If
actually
there's a
that's
rat-
true. Yeah.
This is pretty funny.
All right. Well, not quite lethal for Firebat just yet. Lothab
No.
is gonna seal away a little bit of craziness. Like for example, Power of Warming Doomguard would be lethal for Eloise.
Yeah.
Drake instead is gonna get you closer to lethal, right? You're drawing more of your deck.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, it actually doesn't help that much.
Well,
Does
Wait.
it? It needs to be comboed somehow.
yep. Looking for that combo card.
Whoa!
Ow! So aggressive.
If there's like another Soulfire, it could be lethal, but I guess she might Soulfire the Drake.
He's so far to discard the Wrath card. Perfect.
Yeah, you get rid of it.
I think like Eloise to me, it feels like she's playing some kind of like challenge stone tournament where you're forced to like put as many TGT cards as possible into your deck.
All right. So the challenge is every card that deals damage, right? And they can also deal damage to yourself.
Wow.
We should also keep a count of how many TGT decks win, or like the record of TGT decks versus non-TGT decks. And right now, I believe it's 1-1 with the TGT deck in the third match, probably on the back foot.
She's
That's
probably
not
thinking
much
about whether or not to play the rat card here. By attacking first, she locked herself into not tapping.
Oh man, you can't tap. You can't play Wrath card, and I guess you're going with what you have. Firebat needs to kill or it needs an answer to the board. There's this lethal.
Deadly
going instead.
poison. Another. That's exactly.
That's lethal. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh,
Wow, what a card.
Eloise had some options there. She could have tapped for the lethal, try to get a power overwhelming or the second Soulfire, but she made the decision that there's not enough outs. It was probably only those 3. So I would imagine it was two power overwhelmings and 1 Soulfire remaining, and she thought her chances are better than the 3 out of whatever 20 there was remaining at that point.
Right. And so it ties up the series after Firebat wins the game. And yeah, once again, it's kind of like the Gar and Eloise switching up, right? You do not want to get benched. but then you become very predictable if you play around that rule. It's just it's just not a good position to be in. So if I was playing in the team league, I would definitely go with a strategy where all three of the guys kind of win a game apiece, and then go from there.
Yeah, I feel like that really gives an advantage here to Team Archon by having all three players available at this point, avoiding those lockouts, because Tempo Storm either is predictable or risks the lockout. And I'd say neither way is that good. There's a lot of mind games, because if there's some mind games where the other team predicts the other team's actions, they can abuse it.
Right. Well, we're gonna see Eloise's Wrath card deck again sooner. So I actually kind of want all the TGT decks to lose, so we can see more of them. It's kind of kind of weird that way.
Is it okay? But is that actually good for the game? Like, it's sending a message that you don't want to innovate and you want to stick with like the old standard, tried and true patron warrior, standard but boring.
Well, I think it also creates a good story where Blizzard is giving us so many tools, and that the tools are not obvious. I mean, they could have just printed a card where just battle cry, destroy a Grim Patron, something like that. But then you can say that, oh yeah, maybe after a month from now that Patron is actually not the best deck, and it's actually this Inspire Mage deck or something, that they came up with.
The funny thing about that is, I think if a card has a battle cry, destroy a Grim Patron, it's not like even that good, because you need to destroy more than one Grim Patron.
Yeah, one is not good.
Oh no! Oh man! If only Grim Patron was a demon, right? We can use Light's Champion against it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe in the future. There's still a lot of time. Everybody's still very hyped, I think.
Yep. So I want to see a Paladin deck right now. Is that okay? I don't care which one is playing it, but I want to see a Paladin deck. There's no way that a Paladin deck would be anything that we've seen before, right? I mean, Sixa could be playing the old face Pala, but please no.
But even with the face talent, like you said before the match, right? The Argent Horse Rider, 2-1 charge divine shield, seems really, really good. But let's run a Firebat Mage versus Eloise's Paladin. Eloise is actually playing twice, so she's on the verge of getting benched.
Yeah,
I think Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think like the two surprising cards of TGT so far are that Argent Horseman that might be in an aggro Paladin, and also the Murloc Summoner from Paladin.
Murloc Summoner.
Yeah, Murloc Summoner. It's pretty sick. I definitely underestimated that card. Now that I've seen it in action, there's so much value in it.
Yeah.
The drawback for paying 1 extra mana for your 3-drop is it gets completely out of control if it survives for multiple turns.
Yeah, I think one thing that a lot of people, when evaluating TG cards, like the Inspire mechanic as well, missed is that Inspire minions demand a response at that turn. Otherwise, they just snowball out of control. So there you go. But Eloise, it seems like it's going to play a little bit of a mid-range deck. We see the Tuskar Jouster, one of the very cool cards that just got released.
The juggler is going to get punished by the scientist. It's their high risk, high reward play to go for the juggler first, because in case it survived, it would be a lot more damage. But when there's a scientist like this, you would much rather have the shielded minibot out there.
Oh yeah, I mean the knife juggler basically it's like a dark bomb to the face at this moment, and your opponent doesn't even lose 2 mana, right? They get a secret out of it. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, if there was no scientist, this would have really paid off. But here we go. So there's gonna be that trade happening.
Yeah, so, and just like you were mentioning, Amaz, like Freeze Mage is still very good, especially in a meta where people are trying new decks like the Paladin and Shaman deck, or even Priest.
But I mean, let's look at it this way. So we know Paladin is like abysmal against Freeze Mage, right? Because they don't put enough pressure, and then they don't have, enough heals to proc the stuff. Frost Nova basically seals your board because you have minion combat. But does the Tuskar Jouster actually swing the matchup to where Paladin is a little bit of a favorite?
It's interesting. This matchup is really problematic for Paladin. It's a very bad one because of the way that Paladin works. Is that you first put minions on the board and then you wait a turn and then you deal damage with those. And when the minions get cleared quite easily because there's Freeze Mage has the most amount of AoE in the game. But it's Tuskar Jouster. If there's 2 of those, it could potentially be 14 healing, maybe even a low tap. it could be a lot, but my personal experience from the Tusker Joester have been very disappointing, because you have to still put those shielded mini-bots in the deck. You have to put the knife jugglers. There's so many low drops, and I found myself losing a lot of Joests as a paladin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. There's even a lot of zombie chows in your deck, and the other thing is if you take out if you put in like the jousters in your deck, that means you're probably taking out like a Lotheb, which kind of fills a similar role, and also the anti-Keelbot, which also fills a similar role. So when even if you run the 2 jousters, it's still pretty bad. And just in fact, like, yeah, like before TGT, this was like, I think like the worst matchup in the game, or one of at least like top 3. And it was like it was 13-2 with a 87% win rate to Freeze Mage.
Wow, yeah, that's gonna be a big deal. And Zola's hand, Firebat's hand right now is pretty amazing. So he definitely is way ahead here. But if those Tusker Jousters come through, if she manages to win those jousts, maybe it will be enough.
Yeah, you play
Well,
Healadin, you play every single heal card, 2 Holy Lights, 2 Sealed Lights, you can pretty much never die. That might be a thing. But you know that Eloise is playing Lay on Hands as well, right? So that's a lot of heal.
Well, here's the thing. I remember Stancifka played like an all healing paladin deck, and he brought it to Via Game House Cup just to counter Freeze Mage, and he still lost with it because
Oh man.
because like his opponent like played an Archmage Antonidas and then a Frost Nova, and he was like, oh, I have like all the heal I want, but I can't kill this Archmage, and it got like 4 fireballs, and he just died.
Yeah.
Do you think we will ever get like a Archmage type of card for Paladin? Like maybe every time you cast a spell, put a Holy Light into your hand?
Wow. Wow. I mean, games will last forever. I'm not sure if that's what Blizzard wants. But hey, going back to the game here, Firebat actually played Emperor on a 8-card hand. They're mostly AoEs, so that's pretty good. There's some burn in there.
I would actually see that.
Dealt.
Yeah, he's at 9 HP now.
It's pretty
Firebat is
crazy.
pretty low. The sword to the face here might be a lot of pressure.
The sword to face and the owl there.
Yeah, all the Emperor. I mean, you're owling a lot of things here. The Doomsayer was not really played anyways, so.
Oh, this is really interesting. That's another round of discounts will be coming in, which is insane. No, actually no, because it was silenced. No discounts. Sorry.
Oh, Healbot is very clutch here.
Wow.
Very, very clutch, because like we know that if Firebat actually froze Eloise's board and also the face, that Consecrate would have popped the ice block, right? So, but the Healbot actually just prevents that from happening.
Yeah, it's very important at this stage. And also getting that 5 to face with that, and getting most likely another 5 next, and that is so huge. Those minions combined with the 2 fireballs are almost enough for lethal already.
So here, is this a reason to play Tuskar Juster now? I mean, you don't lose the effect. Effectively, you're gaining something. But do you want to wait for the Alex Strasser turn? Oh, this is actually a very hard turn for Eloise.
Yes.
Yeah. Yet another problem with the Jousters against Freeze Mage is they're pretty much like your only standard 5-drop if you run them. Like, you don't run Lotheb probably, and you don't run Harrison Jones usually in this Paladin deck. So you sometimes like you skip your 5-drop turn if you don't have a lot of minions on the board and you can't Quartermaster either.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just hate not establishing the board or, putting pressure, so... It's tough. It's really tough.
I think it looks like the play might be something like a kill off the heal, but then go for the Jouster. It does survive a Flame Strike. Kinda. I mean, the Flame Strike could be discounted, and it is. Oh, or Consecrate. Okay.
Seems like we're gonna have to clear the board here. Makes sense, right? I mean, you're expecting the
bad.
Alex Strasser, and you want to save the heal for it.
Yep. Saving the heal. Like, there would be an Alex Strasser coming in, and in that case, the Jouster would be completely wasted.
Okay, a solid secret to actually extend the life even more. Just need to find more time to get the burst.
Firebat doesn't need much more than a Frostbolt right now. With a Frostbolt throw, he would have, I believe, 20 damage in his hand, or in one turn, counting the ping.
Okay. And Eloise is at 19, so that's kind of scary.
Yeah. No, not quite. Can he still pick it up? No.
Well, he can pick it up, but not for this turn.
Yeah,
Double
he can pick
Flame
it up.
Strike.
He wouldn't have, you know. Yeah.
Double Flame Strike is actually like a lot of respect to like a lot of token decks right now that's running on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good metagame call.
I think so too. With the, for example, the Paladin, the new Paladins get destroyed by it. The new Shamans get destroyed by it. It should be a good card to have overall.
Okay.
And
Eloise
still
can-
the pick also against patrons.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
basically a race right now to see if Fireback gets the burn or where Eloise can proc the block. Eloise does not seem like she can proc the block next turn.
No, because of that that ice barrier. Firebat was a little bit like, you know, hesitating there. I'm not sure if he was maybe thinking about not playing the scientist, because if the scientist gets killed right now, he does not get the last barrier.
Right.
Or he might have also been considering the Frost Nova. The Blizzard, just to yeah, there goes that scientist. No secret pulled. The Blizzard just to not take the 8.
Oh man. Pretty awkward for Eloise right now.
It really is. She's probably starting to worry about her life total too. But it's those double fireballs are a real threat. There's so many
So, I
cards
mean-
in Firebat's hand right now.
Yeah, at this point, you're so close to like what Alex Strasser would put you in the first place. You may want to consider healing, right? I think the worst possible outcome is after you heal, your freeze mage opponent uses Alex Strasser. That's
Yeah, I
just
think so.
not a good feeling.
The Alex Strassen would have happened already. It would have happened last turn most likely if it was there.
Yeah. One other thing that jousting does is it actually gives you more information. Like if you see your opponent get an Alexstrasza here,
Oh, there you go.
That is
That's
huge.
pretty key.
Only barely, but it is enough.
Yeah, that's a good point, Monk. I mean, in some decks, I don't think it actually matters that much to see what joust happens. But since Freeze Mage only runs like, I don't know, 6 to 7 minions or something like that, it actually is pretty good information.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Uh-huh.
That's... Aha! Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You can Ice Lance the Tyrion to prevent it from attacking.
Yeah.
And then you
I
can
wouldn't be
also...
surprised if the fireball went to the jouster too. But
Right,
if
because-
you put the fireball to face, well, I don't know. You probably just stick it to face because there could be like an equality. But I wouldn't
Yeah,
blame him
plus-
for dealing with the jouster.
Oh, wow.
there we go.
There we go.
And Fireback's actually going to get a little rewarded here. Because
Yeah.
there's no way to deal with it.
That also that fireball on the jouster keeps him completely safe from the ice block from getting bopped.
That's true. That's actually very true.
So if let's say that he left up the jouster and there was an equality consecration, it would have been 6 power on the board and well, not quite enough to both pop the block and to clear, but yeah, that Antonidas, there's no way for Eloise right now to deal with the Antonidas, and that should seal the game for 5-bet.
Yeah, Firebat just has too many of like the really good cards you want in the late game. Flame Strikes and Fireballs are... It's the perfect arena draft.
Yes, you can say that. And Eloise on the side is just like, man, the double Quartermasters. The Quartermaster is such a good card, but when you don't have anything to activate it with, it just feels so bad.
Yeah, I noticed that these are like the double Quartermaster, double Defender of Argus. They're like the most situational cards in Paladin, and you can definitely tell it's really hurting her right now.
Yeah.
If the Arguses were like Murloc Knights, that would have been so much better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, we saw the 3/3. This, I think it's like a Silver Hand Reagent or something.
Regent,
that it?
Silverhand Regent. Yeah.
Regent, yes, Silver Hand Regent. We saw that in the deck, but we haven't seen a Murloc Knight, and I just feel like the Murloc Knight seems to be like fairly superior. I'm wondering why he doesn't have
It
it.
does, but then at the same time, now you're a Paladin and you're running how many 4-drops? So I guess it's a hard balance to make.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it's more like it's a 6-drop, or which can be flexibly used as a 4-drop, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like a lot of people think it's just like a strictly a 6-drop, but if your team play it in an empty board on turn 4, I think it's actually amazing. Like I've seen like Fireballs go against a Murloc Knight, and by that point, I'm really that sad if you trade a Fireball for Murloc Knight. I don't think so.
Okay, well, 2 defender focuses and the Silverhand region. If this was a ladder game, I'm pretty sure that the Eloise would find the concede button, but we're probably gonna play this to the end.
Yeah, I guess. But definitely looks like a pretty unwinnable position. I think the main swing turn was the anti-heal bot draw from Firebat. That was so important. And oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And Firebat wins another game for Archon. We're 3-2, and Firebat is done for the day with a check mark. So good job on Archon. But on the other side, Tempo Storm will see Eloise benched because Eloise did lose 2 games in a row. So it's gonna be Gar up next.
Yeah, so Tempestorm Archon not only ahead on the scores, but also that bench thing. It's actually a big deal because they know that the Eloise's decks are not gonna be in the next match, and there's potentially something that they can target from Gara now. They know that there's only Hunter and Priest. What would be the class to beat those two?
If I am Gar right now and I'm staring at like a Paladin, Druid, and a Warlock, I do not like my Priest too much. I mean, I'm assuming that it's normal Priest. If it's Dragon Priest, it's actually pretty good against aggro. For example, like if I'm assuming 6-0 is running aggro Paladin, so I would actually think that Priest might be the best here if it's a Dragon Paladin, Dragon Priest. Jesus. If it's not, then I think we just want to win that game with the Hunter to bring back Eloise.
Yeah,
I think. Well, I just want to point out about the previous game. I think it was really smart for Team Archon to bring Freeze Mage, and I actually question why Tempo Storm might not have brought Freeze Mage. It actually seems really good when TGT has come out, simply because a lot of the pre-TGT decks seem to counter Freeze Mage in the sense that I think as the season went on in Archon Team League, there were more decks that were good against Freeze Mage, specifically the Mech Shaman, which everyone began to use, or even the rogue that has the Assassin's Blade, which more and more teams began to use later on in the season.
Right.
So yeah, and compared to that, the new TGT decks are like the Dragon Priest, the mid-range Paladin, the mid-range Shaman, and those are all weak against the Freeze Mage.
Yeah, if Team Liquid was still playing in the tournament, I would have absolutely like forced our team to play Freeze Mage. I think it's in an amazing spot right now with the new cards, all the Inspire cards. Kind of get punished by it. Most of the new innovations have unfavorable matchups against it. So I think that's a good call from Team Archon to bring the Freeze, and it's really surprising that Tempo Storm did not do so. Hype is also a great Freeze Mage player, so yeah.
Yeah, Zalay is going to step up to the plate. It's his second deck, so if Zalay wins this, he actually threw it. And of course, Gar is looking for a win with the Priest to get Eloise off the bench and give Tempo Storm a little bit more options.
I saw, in terms of what deck Zalay is using, I saw him playing Handlock yesterday on his stream, but who knows, that might just be to throw Tempo Storm off their game.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there has been some of those like discard Warlocks also around. I saw Firebat play a little bit of discard aggro Zoo yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, and well, it worked sometimes. And Tice also played it today, and he had a fairly high win rate on the ladder. So that might be a viable strategy. But again, DG has only been out for 2 days, so maybe that discard list isn't quite completed yet. And seeing the other decks from Team Archon, they have been leaning towards the old deck list. So if it was Zoo, I would expect to see the old Zoo. If it's Handlock, probably not that many new cards.
Right. I mean, Handlock is also really good in this meta right now, right? I mean, like we said. But we are going to see a... Oh, we're going to see a Handlock.
No, looks like it.
Yeah, Gar is actually rocking the Dragon Priest with the Dragonkin Sorcerer. Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if this is just Reynad's deck list that he played on stream over the past few days. And it includes 1 Dragon King Sorcerer, 2 Holy Smites, and all the rest are Dragon Synergy cards and like Vol'jin.
Okay. Are there any twins in the deck?
Twins?
No,
there's no twins. No twins. One issue with this deck is that it only runs 1 Shadow Word Death, though. So
Okay.
that's definitely gonna hurt him.
Well, I guess because we saw the Vol'jin just now, Vol'jin kind of acts like the second death.
Yeah, Vol'jin is
Yeah.
amazing.
But you kind of need more than one death. Or more than two
Yeah,
deaths,
that's true.
rather.
In this matchup.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't played this matchup. I haven't been playing any hand because I've been focused on the new strategies after DGT. But this like normally this has been very one-sided matchup in favor of the of the handlock, and I don't think anything has really changed all that much.
Exactly.
Right.
I think it like this
Yeah.
Dragon Priest. The Dragon Priest reminds me a lot of the Undertaker Priest that was popularized by Kibler and Zadalot back in the day.
Yeah.
And that deck certainly didn't do well against Handlock at all.
No, the thing is that the priest really struggles dealing with the Molten Giants. The burst is not there normally, unless this is some kind of unique list. So it's really hard to play around the Moltens, and eventually those might swing the game around. Gar did pick up the Light Bomb there, and that is absolutely an amazing card against Handlock in general.
Well, Chilma is also going to be here. Oh man, more TG cards. Bring it on.
Yeah,
Not
I'm loving
really
it.
that good against Handlock though. It's just a
No.
6 mana 6/6, 7 mana 6/6. Sorry.
Yeah.
No,
I also want to point out at this point that TGT decks are 1 and 3 against non-TGT decks so far.
Okay.
And-
Wait, did you count the double up with the patron? So it's actually 1 and 4.
The double up the patron.
Yeah, both
So-
teams won with patron.
Yeah, but in the first game, patron it was like a non-TGT deck against a non-TGT deck.
Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah,
is
yeah,
there-
yeah. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, and in this matchup, it seems like the deck with the TGT cards is unfavored. So not looking to be good for TGT today.
Seems that way.
No, not good at all. There's a few options here. Zali gets a Hellfire and Mortal Coil off the Dragonkin Sorcerer. Sorry, what is that called? Blackwing Corruptor. Also another option would be the Defender and Coil.
Yeah. Defender and coil makes more sense since you want more options.
Seems pretty sweet. It can get Shadow or Death, but you're not too worried. No, actually, it just gets traded. But yeah, yeah, in some matchups you don't like, or some situations you wanna avoid having 5 power minions against the priest. But you're as a handlock player, you're happy to see a death on that if it was to happen, because then you know that there's one less death for the giants.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I'm looking at Gar's hand right now, it's so good if it's not versus Handlock, right? I mean, all your minions have so much health. You have a 2 mana 2/4. You have a 1 mana 2/3. It's amazing,
Yeah.
but the problem is that you're not putting a lot of pressure in terms of attack value.
It's a really rough hand from Gara. I'm sure he runs Azure Drakes and cards like that, but instead of on his turn 5, he will have to play a 2-drop.
Yeah. I think the one way Gar could win though is if he somehow gets a Ysera to stick on the board. Seeing that Zale, he probably isn't going to run Siphon Soul with the Acidic Ooze in his hand. With, I just don't see him running Siphon Soul. It's not very common choice, especially if you do run the tech cards like the Ooze.
The silencing the Ysera is sometimes, Even if you
but-
can't kill it, if you just Iron Beak all it gets
Yeah.
the job done in most cases. The only big problem with that is if the first Ysera card ends up being Awakened, then you might have a bad time.
Yeah. The other issue is a lot of these lists these days, they only run one owl, so it's like your one answer to Ysera.
Yeah, that is true. Personally, I really I play 2 owls, and I wanna keep playing 2 owls. I think it's amazing to have 2, but I've seen a bunch of lists with just 1.
Yeah. Well, so if
Here's some preferred.
yeah. Not
Yeah.
now, but
Later.
definitely need
Yep.
it. Are there any like new TGT cards that you think might be like options in Handlock?
Oh, options in Handlock.
Not that many.
Wow.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out if the Garrison Commander thing is like the 2-drop with the allows you to tap twice, basically. If that's a thing in some sort of handler, but I don't think it finds its spot, because that card I think is quite good. 2 mana, 2/3. It's decent stats already, but I don't know. You can kind of play it as an anti-aggro card for maybe trading early on if you have to, and then in later game you can tap twice, so you get your life total lower. It's actually a good thing in some matchups to get your life total lower, cycling through your deck, but I'm not sure. Wilfred Fizzlebank, most likely unplayable. I don't know how you can put that in.
Yeah.
I've
Well, actually,
seen
if you are playing a handlock, you also have a inherent buff to it, right? Because there's so many Joust cards now, and you're running Mountain Giant, Molten Giant. So every time you see those, your opponent can never win a Joust. So
Alright.
even though handlock might be playing TGT cards, they definitely counter TGT cards.
Yeah, Frost Giant probably not worth it. I think that because that's a card that a lot of people are suggesting because you want to hero power a lot, so you get cheaper Frost Giants. But I feel like Moltens and Mountains are both better and more important than the Frost Giants are, and you can't really fit in 6 Giants.
Yeah.
I've seen like players like Trump try the fencing coach in handlock, but to me that seems more like a luxury card, kind of like the recombobulator. Like
Yeah.
what the fencing coach does is like you get a free infernal if you go Jiraxis.
Wow,
Right afterwards.
That's true. That's pretty something. But I think it's It also activates Wilfred Frizzlebank, so let's not forget about that card.
I'm trying to think through the neutral cards. I did think about it a little bit even before the expansion came out, but I think there's very few cards. It's kind of the same situation as with Patrons. I think the game developers were kind of intentionally trying to avoid buffing already strong existing strategies and rather have some new things come out, and I'm really happy about it.
Does seem like if you actually give Warlock a specific Joust card, that handlocks would just run it for sure, because they usually just run Joust anyways, like
That is true.
immediately with Giants. So I could see Master Jouster maybe in it, but then not really, right?
Yeah, it's unreliable. You sometimes you win it, but you still have those small minions. You have things like Sun Fury Protector, so you can't reliably win it. But there can be arguments made that most of the times it's good enough just as a 5/6, and if you win the Joust, the times where you are most likely to win the Joust are against really fast decks. But I don't know. I don't think it's quite worth it.
Yeah, I also don't think the 6 slot is that important for handlock since you can always like play a 4-drop and tap.
That is true.
Vol'jin's gonna do incredible work here. It's gonna be a Vol'jin Smite to kill anything on the board, and now you get a 6/8.
Wow, Vol'jin, really powerful card.
Ooh.
I'm a bit surprised that we didn't see that much Vol'jin right after it was introduced. It's a bit of a like sleeper card. I think it's gonna become a staple now in the Dragon Priest list, especially if they
Dragon
made like
Priest is
slower.
definitely very good, right? I mean, you have a lot of minions as well. You have all those 2/3s and 2/4s early game. So even with your Vol'jin, you can actually trade. I think the problem is that if you do not have the option, you're always going to use Vol'jin and Smite. You're actually using 2 cards to remove something. I mean, sure, you get like a 6 whatever, like a 6 beast, very, very good card afterwards. But the reliance on the combo of like 2 pieces definitely doesn't push it to be like a premium card.
Yeah, it's not
that's
even it's not even an instant kill. Like your opponent's battle cries will still go off, your opponent's death rattles will still go off, and most cards these days do have one of those.
Yeah, well, it's only 5 mana. I mean, if you land it on, let's say, a 5 toughness or 6 toughness minion, it's a 6/6 for 5 mana, and you gonna deal some damage with doing it. I'm a huge fan of the card. I gotta admit.
Yeah, it's kind of like a fire elemental if you put it that way, right? But once again, you need to do something along with it. It's a fire
Yeah,
elemental that's could be really good at, but also could be really bad.
It is more a small minion for the trade immediately.
Well, over at Gara's side, you have 9 mana, and you're facing down Sylvanas with pretty much no silence, no steal as well, and Light Bomb doesn't really solve the problem that much, and your opponent's holding like 9 cards. It's a very bad spot to be in.
That Sylvanas really annoying right now.
Yeah, it's just like right now it's not the Giants or the Twilight Drake that are necessarily winning Zelay the game. It's more just the consistent card draw that Zelay has. Meanwhile, Gara, he hasn't drawn into any of his Northshire, so he's essentially just getting 1 card per turn compared to like the 1.5 per turn that Zelay has gotten.
This is pretty brutal. Zelay has a variety of answers to deal with this board.
Wow.
Not the best turn for Emperor because all these cards in your hand are just tech cards. You just want to play it in response to something. But at the same time, you can do a lot of cool stuff. Like Sylvanas can steal something if you can couple it with Dark Bomb.
Yeah. Dark Bomb, for example, Dark Bomb on the Vol'jin, then attack into that, or simply Dark Bomb on the Sylvanas, attack into the Drake. That might be even better. You get the 6/7 instead. Mortal Coil would be the perfect thing, because then he could attack into the Drake and coil the Sylvanas afterwards. But the Dark Bomb, it's good enough. Let's see. Full hand, so tapping not really an option. Could see a tap and the Emperor after this film.
Yeah, Emperor seems pretty decent.
Probably feeling safe enough to just tap too. I mean, yeah.
Oh,
Why
that's a good card.
Yeah, you're seeing Dragon Priest, and I think if it's maybe a different kind of priest, you might be afraid of the Akanai Soul Priest plus double flash heal combo.
Yeah, but
Yep.
from a Dragon Priest, you wouldn't expect any kind of burst.
But yeah, with this kind of priest, it's just like no pressure at all. The only burst is Holy Smite with a couple of Valence Chosen maybe for extra spell power. But yeah, this is just the nature of the matchup. It's just very, very one-sided.
It's so hard as a priest lane.
Gara, like the only real thing, well, he can try to clear off this board somehow, maybe with a combination of, well, he has to use Dark Bomb eventually, but I think he's deciding between using the Chill Maul or maybe a Holy Nova here.
The Light Bomb, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, the Light Bomb.
Yeah, Light Bomb, exactly.
Light Bomb.
Light while clearing boards.
Light
Yeah.
Wall. Play the Light Wall here.
Shilma is not even that amazing here, huh? I mean, you play it, and then your opponent just silences it. Forced to use the Light Bomb to kill one creature.
He had to do it. This is not. It didn't feel like the time for Light Bomb. That's simply not enough value for the Light Bomb to be winning the game. But in these circumstances, it's just something that he had to do.
Well, the circumstances doesn't mean you can come back in the game though. Zalae's just gonna keep on putting more threats. You just saw a Light Bomb, you saw a Shadow Word Death already. This giant looks really, really safe from most responses. And like, it's just like the Hana player is asking the priest the questions, right? And the priests are gonna run out of answers sooner or later because life tap is the main reason that this matchup is so great for the Hana.
I think we're gonna see a heal bot here. Normally you don't want to play it before Molten Giants are played, but I mean, it's just like he's so far ahead that he can play around everything, and even after the heal bot, he can still play the Molten for 8 mana. So by the off chance that Gara would be playing some kind of weird bursting, as unlikely as it is, I think the heal bot is to play over the Vulture.
Yeah, Dragonkin Sorcerer, man. Doesn't seem as good right now. Just gonna go with the Choma, and
That is lethal, I believe. With
that is
Therapy Power.
pretty lethal. I mean, with Silence, with 2 Hellfires, that's a lot of damage.
A few points of overkill. 2 points extra, I think. 6 from hand and 12 for 16 on the board. Well, let's see if he spots it. It's not.
Well, I mean, oh man, you do not want to miss this lethal. That would be
he didn't
pretty
do it yet.
embarrassing.
He didn't do it yet. It looks like he's still thinking.
Oh
my god!
Oh, man. Chilma, man. Chilma bringing in the mind games. So, the first miss lethal of TGT.
Oh no, well he's still gonna win the game. It's not gonna change the result. There's 0 chance of getting punished for it.
0% chance of getting punished.
Yeah.
So, at that point, it's just extended BM, right?
Yeah, it's just the extended BM. He wants to not only crush Tempo Storm, but also their morale.
Oh, wow. Yep. Well, make the biggest blow you can. I mean, is Silly gonna see the owl this time?
This one's a little more
It's like,
obvious.
oh, he doesn't have an owl. Otherwise, I would have just died. I mean, actually, not really. He doesn't know he has Hellfires, I guess.
There's the owl for the Watcher, so he can attack with the Watcher, right? Oh.
Oh man. Right, there you go.
Yeah.
0% chance to punish. Zalae wins another game for Team Archon, and basically they're up 4-2. Or we are up 4-2.
Wow, the reverse here. We started the series by a quick 2-0 from Hyped, But the Team Archon just completely turning it around here. Now suddenly 4 games in a row, 4-2 in a commanding lead. Eloise is still benched, so Gara has to keep playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, more important than the actual match score is that TGT decks are 1-4 now against non-TGT decks, and Patron Warrior is now 2-0 in a TGT meta.
We've seen 5 decks from Team Archon, and 0 TGT cards, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that the Team Archon has not played a single new card.
I mean, I think it's actually pretty special if Team Archon played second. So, like, maybe, for example, like Force and Boys and Hilum, which are going to play later today, they actually playing, like, a lot of TGT cards, and then we go like, wow, it's actually refreshing to see that TGT cards are not used. But with this ordering, it might be a bit weird. It's also interesting to note that if Gara actually loses this next game, then he's benched as well. And with the bench rule, if all players are benched, then all players become unbenched. So there's actually a compensation prize if Gara loses this game.
Wow. Oh man, that would feel so bad.
I actually have never heard of that rule, but I guess it makes sense. It's better than that time that all 3 players were benched.
Oh, if all 3 players are benched, you just lost the series.
Yeah, it's a 6-0 right there, right? Or maybe not 6-0, but no, it has to be.
It has
no,
to be. It has to be.
Doesn't. But 6 games in a row still, yeah. So they can take like a 5-0 lead and then end up with everyone getting benched.
That's true.
That's true. There was definitely a team that had all 3 players benched before like the last 2 weeks. It can be like 6-1.
You can't go 5-0. You can go 3-0. Everyone can win once and then lose like 2 in a row.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. 3-0. So 6-3 is the best they can do. Wow. We are going very, very mathematical. Yeah. But there you go. 6 is gonna bring Druid against Gar's lineup. Once again, Gar has to play, but he can choose any deck he wants, and he's gonna go with Hunter against Druid. I would say that this is a Hunter favorite.
Gar with his Bear Trap Hunter, taking another shot, and I'm kind of happy that this Tempo Storm is playing some new cards, so we don't have to put like shoes on our heads to prove that this is not pre-recorded last week.
Yeah, that's true. But Tempo Storm right now it's not in a winning position, and oh man, that is Living Roots first TGD card from Archon.
Yeah, it should be quite good for against the Hunter. That hand from Xixo, it's really I think he's gonna keep everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, he did already.
Yeah, in a way, the Chillwind Yeti is almost a TGT card, right? Because just like of the other cards that work with it, people are adding in those new 4-drops.
Yeah, Amnesiac is definitely the Druid player, which introduced like he was telling me like Chillwind Yeti is my favorite card. I always want to play it, and there you go. Now that Druids have like a million wild growths, like me and Monk previously discussed earlier in this series, it's just very natural to play more 4-drops, right? Turn 2 is your wild growth into turn 4.
How can a vanilla minion be somebody's favorite card? I mean, it's so boring as it gets. Sorry.
It's a Yeti. I mean, look at it. Look at the beard. Look at those muscles.
Oh man. Well, it is pretty chill. Sorry about that one.
Yeah.
So Vita's second favorite card is the Ice Rager, of course.
Oh yeah. Right after Magma Rage.
Okay.
I think okay, so Amaz, you mentioned that the Hunter is favored in this matchup, and I think like pretty much everyone will tell you, or most pros will tell you that the Hunter is favored.
Okay.
But in actual games, it's actually Druid that wins slightly more. It's 25-35 or 29-35 in favor of the Druid, so it's like 45% for the mid-range Hunter and 55 for Druid.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it doesn't take into account the archetypes, right? We're taking account the archetype of mid-range Hunter versus Druid right now, and we
it does.
It does?
Yes.
Wait.
My stats.
Okay. So it definitely does. The record you just gave me is mid-range Hunter versus.
Yes, it's not just like the class; it's the archetype.
Wow. Really?
Yes.
Then that's just so sad for the mid-range Hunter. You don't even beat your theoretically best matchup.
Wow,
I mean,
that's Houndmaster.
The Houndmaster is a very sick draw here. That's for sure.
Yeah, after seeing that silence happen.
Wait. Do you want to play Snapjaw first so you get a bigger Houndmaster value?
Whoa, so greedy. I don't know. I think he would just throw it out there right now. It's more pressure that way. Because you not want to play the Houndmaster next, and you want to play Lothep. Like,
Actually, what last turn 6 actually silenced the mad scientist. I'm actually very surprised about that. I feel like that's like I don't like that actually. Don't like that at all.
6-0's just really scared of those bear traps.
I mean, we know it's bear trap too, right? And
Well, there were freezing traps in that deck.
sure,
Yeah, we saw at least one. Yeah, that's true.
but I
I
just
think the
feel
Houndmaster is just like way superior here.
yeah, that is definitely true. But I think that Keeper of the Grove is actually gonna punish Sixo quite a bit. You always want to hold the Keeper for like a Knife Juggler, you know, silencing even a high main or a Houndmaster target, and him doing that is just like there's 2-4. 2-4s don't do anything against hunters.
Yeah. Gara is just curving out here absolutely perfectly. I don't know, like what can Sixo really do?
The other thing about Science and the Mad Scientist is that because you know your opponent, he plays a lot of bear traps. What you can do is like you can let him get the trap out, but at the same time just like contest the board and never attack face, and that works pretty well as well. Like you don't necessarily need to silence like a bear trap essentially.
And we know that silencing a minion, like a Mad Scientist, doesn't actually gain you tempo, right? It actually just puts the same amount of tempo on the board. Mad Scientist only activates when it's dead. So, it actually, 6-0's turn 4 play was just to play a true 4. But then, Gara over on the other side here, it seems like we have a lot of options. One possible option might include, you know, Animal Companion, a Huffer, or a Leog. That'll be very good. But no, I'm just gonna take a 6 trade here and just play Lothep and push some damage.
Yeah, it's really nice to like kind of prepare for the high man for next turn.
Well, the Yeti doesn't seem as good right now. It just gets eaten alive by the Lothep, so oh man.
Going for the hero over the ass pirate.
Yeah, I mean, you really want the Keeper of the Grove to actually do something. I mean, you played it at turn 4, right? So forced to make your trade a little bit more awkward.
Yeah, now this is just a dominating position for Gara. Like the whole game between the Druid and the Hunter is like whether the Hunter can set up a clean turn 6 Savannah High main, and this is just perfect.
It's even better than a clean. It's gonna have a board to go with it. I think the Lothep should probably go face. But I mean, but trade a 1/1 for that. Then it's a close call. Why would you attack into the Chillwind Yeti? Is it like to prevent some kind of Keeper silence trade for the Hymen? I'm not sure.
Well, no, I actually like that because like a 1 health minions are actually very strong against Druids, right? Because they actually have to clear it, and when they spend time clearing it, it means they have to spend time not developing any creatures. And also a 5/1 with a Savannah Hymen on the board, I think it's just amazing. If the Yeti actually stays on board, he could actually, you know, Sixto can actually choose to do something else with his stuff. Yeah. You know, just
but the 5, yeah, the 5 and Lothep, it's just it does die to things like Brat for 1, Swipe. Well, he doesn't have any kill commands in his hand yet. If there was 2 kill commands, I'm sure he would have went face. Well, it is pretty good here. I mean, that 5/1 is going to get a trade with the 5/5.
Oh man. Yeah, that Lothep is going to be too good. And yeah, Sixto realizes that this game is pretty over. And yeah, Gara has won a game. So Eloise is now unbenched. And we are looking at a 4-3 score with Archon still in the lead.
First time we saw new cards from Team Archon. Those are Darnassus aspirants, and they never got played. Maybe that's why they lost. Playing some new cards, bad idea.
Yeah, like we can see, there were no new cards played by a team or by Tempo Storm and Gara in the previous game, even though he had them in his deck. So kind of a bad luck charm to play those new cards.
Yeah, there's no impact from those new cards on either side there actually.
But the thing is now, if we look at the matchups, we still have the Druid versus Priest, which is a pretty good matchup for the Druid. But then Eloise has the Zoo against the Druid, which we believe it's a pretty good matchup. I'm not really sure if Aspirants and Living Roots are actually going to make that matchup a bit better, but I don't feel like that. And of course, we also have the Secret Paladin deck that Sixto did not reveal just yet.
The Living Roots definitely helps. You can deal with Juggler and the Flaming easily by just using 1 mana, so that's nice. But I have to say that I still think that it favors the zoo. It's just the way that the druid works, where all the removal is, aside from the living roots, is pretty expensive. Even swipe, it's not that efficient necessarily. It's not the strongest AOE in the game, and it's quite mana extensive. So it's difficult for the druid to clear. I have to favor the zoo.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, we see a lot of druid versus zoo games end in a race where the druid can just like combo out the zoo sometimes, and I think Wrathguard really hurts the zoo in that respect.
I guess, yeah. Health is kind of important sometimes. When you go that direction where you just like play 4 Flame Imps in a sense, when your opponent has the answers to the overboard, suddenly you don't have a lot of flexible room to tap anymore, right? Like last game we see Eloise actually just not tapping ever. It turned 5 because she's too low health.
Yeah. But that was also, it was a ridiculous draw. She ended up drawing both of the Flame Imps and both of the Wrath Guards. Whereas if you draw one Flame Imp, one Wrath Guard, you're probably just fine. But just make sure that you are the aggressor and your opponent needs to spend the removal on the minions and not be able to punish you for it. So if you are the aggressor, your life total shouldn't matter that much. It was just unfortunate for Meloise to draw all of those.
All right, it seems that teams are still choosing decks, and that's why we have a little bit of a delay. And yeah, it's actually coming down to the end of the series. Well, at least very close to it.
Yeah, Gara now. Gara winning that match was really big for the Storm. I was almost ready to call it for Team Archon already, but now with Gara's win, Eloise no longer bench. They can just pick whatever they want here. That gives them more options.
I think we need to remind viewers that this is a double elimination bracket where the team that actually wins this match goes through to well, both of the teams are going to play tomorrow. Whether you go to the winners bracket or losers bracket is basically what we're determining right now. And it's very simple. When you win 2 series, you're through to the finals. And if you lose 2 series, then you are out.
Yep.
So we haven't actually seen 6-0's last deck yet, the Paladin deck.
Exactly.
I'm definitely looking forward to that, and I do have a feeling it's going to be more of a mid-range Paladin, since I don't feel like aggro Paladin is really that amazing in this metagame when you're dealing with like the totems from Shaman and like the other mid-range Paladins that just got pretty huge buffs, and in addition to that, like Dragon Priest even. And of course, good old Patron Warrior. So a lot of bad matchups in that respect for aggro Paladins.
Yep, we're gonna see the Paladin here. It's going to be interesting. I'm sure that we'll see at least those Murlocs. They're so powerful. Even in, well, I don't know if it fits Divine Favor deck that well, but most of the Paladin lists should probably include it. When I looked at the card the first time, it looked like a fun card. Oh, someone random Murloc, but the power level, that is quite amazing.
Oh, well, this is unexpected.
Is he's playing the what's it called? Mysterious Challenger. Oh man, I saw Strifecross talking about this.
Yeah, and wait a minute. Did you see a Fist of Jaraxxus in Eloise's hand? Did you see that?
Oh.
So both these, both of them are going like full TGT.
Yes, there we go. There's the Fist. But Strifecross talking about this Mysterious Challenger Paladin, and I saw him tweet about it, that he's tried multiple different versions, and they have all been working amazing. I have personally never seen it before. I have not seen it on the ladder. I have not tried it out. I thought the drawback from putting those secrets into the deck would be too much to ever make it viable. I'm so interested to see how it plays out.
Yeah. We do have to keep in mind that 6-0 is, I think he's still in Korea right now. So he's practicing with a lot of the Korean players, and he might be used to a slightly different metagame than we are in the West.
Yeah, that is possible.
Noble Sack kind of hurting right now.
Yeah. Let's see if he picks up like Blessing of Might, that would be so huge. Oh, Redemption. Oh no. 6 not wanting to draw those right now.
Yeah. This is exactly what you're talking about, just like getting all these like terrible secrets out.
Yeah, if there's a soul state in your deck, the Mysterious Challenger would be so amazing, but you can't really avoid drawing them at times.
I've also seen like a Secret Keeper deck getting used. And it was posted on the competitive Hearthstone Reddit. It's basically like Secret Keeper is exactly like Undertaker. And if you get like good secrets out, you can snowball with the Secret Keeper as well. But I'm not sure we're gonna see that in 6-0's particular deck.
I find it kind of hilarious because Secret Keeper is often considered it's like almost a joke card, but it's not that bad. I mean, if you have a lot of secrets, it can be quite good. So here, a few different options, all of which involving a Flame Imp, I believe. Probably the egg to be protected against the AoE, because we are coming to turn 4. Ooh. That was a bit of an unfortunate guess from Eloise.
Yeah.
Definitely working 6-0's favor for the 2-2 to be a redemption. But how do you predict a redemption? I don't think you can anyhow. There we go. Nerubian egg to protect against the AoE. I think it's the right call. There is no AoE, but it just makes so much sense. Oh, and Noble Sacrifice. That's the last Noble Sac in the deck, so... Then not only is it a card that doesn't really do anything, but he also has no Noble Sacrifice left when the Mysterious Challenger hits the board. So that's
Wait,
one less.
no. There might be like double copies of secrets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he played one Noble Sacrifice on turn 1.
Oh yeah, of course.
That is the last one.
So
Well,
actually,
this-
like, I don't think it looks as bad as it might have seemed in the opening round because 6-0 is like somewhat stabilized at a pretty high health, and he probably can stall until turn 6, and at which like all the secrets will come out.
Oh man, it doesn't look that good, at least right now. I think we're encountering this problem where, Savage, you mentioned before, if you bring like an experimental deck, you have to have at least a win with it, right? And
Yeah.
this might come back to haunt 6-0.
It's pretty scary. I can imagine the Mysterious Challenge is like incredibly powerful when you just keep the secrets in the deck and then manage to draw whatever else you have in there. Because the value from the 6-mana 6/6, it's insane. But here 6 are drawing all those secrets. How many did he draw? Like was it 5? Like 4 secrets?
Yeah, 4 maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little bit too much.
Yes.
Okay, good. The knife does not actually hit the egg by proccing it, but I guess the best target would have been to hit the Wrath Guard as well.
Yeah, I think so. If you Eloise, you kind of have to take out the Juggler, I think.
Yeah,
Or do you-
definitely.
Like there's so many bad things that can happen if you leave it up. Masterful battles and all.
Alright, you took 3 damage to the face here. It doesn't really matter. You're such a high lift
Not
tool.
all that much, no. Okay, here we see it. How many is it gonna be?
Here we go! Oh!
More secrets.
Oh my god!
Wow!
Man, that is awesome!
This is awesome, yeah. Wow,
Oh.
I love it.
Oh, wow! We have Fist of Jiraxxus too, but wait. So it's a redemption, right? It's a redemption, it's a repentance?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it should be one redemption. There's like a revenge, avenge. No, that's revenge.
Avenge.
Revenge and avenge. No, avenge and redemption. Probably one competitive spirit.
Oh, this is so sick. Wait.
Okay,
It's
there we go.
redemption, avenge, repentance, and comparative spirit. Okay, yeah, of course.
Repentance is actually so huge if it gets hit on the Doom God.
Well, it is gonna hit on the Doom Guard. Oh, actually no, because Eloise can play just something else, right? Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Eloise is actually playing really well
Repentance.
against it.
I mean, repentance. Well, that's not very good.
Oh, that's deal 1 damage. That seems
Yeah.
abysmal. And then there's no more get downs, so Eloise is gonna hit the face. Oh, yeah. Oh, she ended turn. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah. This looks like so much fun.
Secret Keeper.
I
Oh
can't play this myself.
Wow. Wait, we're pushing 7 damage here. That's
Oh my.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow.
But if Eloise manages to fully clear this board, there's not gonna be like Xixon is on like a direct damage.
Well, oh man, the Fist of Jazz is gonna be pretty huge here.
It is, because if he doesn't hit it on the mysterious jump, no, hold on. Huh.
This is so cool because there's redemption and there's
Yeah.
also avenge, right?
It's a really tricky situation.
I think the worst case is that the fist goes to the face, right?
Oh yeah.
That's
Has
just
to be.
terrible. You do not want a fist to face.
So the secret keeper needs to die first.
Yes.
No, what does it matter? Maybe it doesn't matter. It's only gonna have 1 HP when it revives. That's probably better for Eloise, so she can now trade the Nerubian into it first and then a 1/1 into the other one.
Whoa. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay. This actually works out quite well for her. Unless the animations take too long. How long is it gonna be? Not that much stroke left.
Yeah, maybe
Oh, man.
not too long.
Yeah, she got it in time.
Alright, so the competitive spirit is not gonna proc because there's no minions on 600. Oh! What a top deck!
Oh yeah, that's
That
great.
is amazing.
With the competitive spirit. I didn't know that it doesn't trigger at all if you have no minions. I thought it would have just like went off and then not buff anything. Oh, not a bad draw.
Pretty good draw.
I think the original list on Reddit had 2 quartermasters in it,
Wow.
so it'd be pretty huge if quartermaster were drawn.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so what is 6 trying to draw here? If Divine Favor is in the deck, that'll be really bad. Oh, another
Yeah.
secret.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
man.
not exciting.
Wait, so are you running like 10 secrets in this deck?
Yeah, I think it is 10. So he's
Yeah,
drawn
like-
3 of them. He's played like 3 of them.
Yeah.
So I think he's played 8 secrets in total out of the 10 in his deck.
Might be only a single copy of Repentance.
Wow, this Avenge is actually really huge. Oh, actually, the Owl is really huge
The
too.
Owl.
So that
Oh,
was
there's-
that too. Wow, this is swinging back and forth. This is
It
insane.
sure is.
Alright. Avenge is gonna proc
Ooh, on
on
that
the
one.
already buffed minion. Oh man.
There we go.
Okay. And now is Eloise gonna tap after playing the Owl?
I think so. Like, how can 6 or pull 5 damage? So. Blessing
Ooh.
of Kings would do it.
Yeah, Blessing of Kings would do it.
That's probably the only thing.
Okay, Lance Carey is gonna buff it up. And 6-0, top decking another one!
Wow. That's not exactly what he was looking for.
It's better than getting another secret, right?
No, that's true. But there's almost none left. There might be the second Repentance, which would have been horrible.
I guess Consecration would be the best draw.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's a little bit too much to ask. That would have been amazing. Or like a True Silver. True Silver would have let him raise.
Yeah, actually, do you just raise anyways? Because like you deal 4 damage right now, and then if your opponent taps, you consecrate an out. If they don't, then True Silver is an out. There's actually a lot of outs, and you are spawning quite a few dudes.
Yeah.
No,
Not
gonna go.
trading. So not trading here that does enable lethal with the last Doom card if Eloise was to draw it.
Yeah, but
Well, I mean,
he's still 1 off from a Soulfire death and a Power Overwhelming death.
That's true.
Oh man, Fist is so bad here.
It is pretty bad. If you're Eloise, I think you gotta tap. Like those trades are happening anyway, like 6 needs the top deck. There should be like another defender. There should be a Doom card. Doom card would be immediate lethal.
Doom card would be really good. Not. Oh, that's good. Player
It's decent. It's on the smaller side, but it's decent for sure.
So now,
Ooh.
Sixo is going to try and find something that deals 2 damage.
Consecration, Crucible Champion. I don't know if I like this, by the way. I think that the Imp Gang boss could have went face and just like... Well, it still sets up lethal, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like thinking if you trade one Imp instead.
Oh!
That's not it.
No! Secret Keeper top cut.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Hey, good news. We're gonna see that deck in action again.
I'm excited to see it again. It looked like a really fun deck, not only to play, but to also watch. It seems so cool. I really enjoyed when we see those completely new archetypes come out. And in this case, it's the deck is based around that mysterious challenger. The stats on it are quite solid, so you don't need to bring all that many. Like you don't have to get all 5 secrets with it when you play it. But the downside to playing that card is putting those secrets in if you draw them early. And it's almost like drawing half a card when you draw something like Noble Sacrifice. Maybe 1/4 of a card if you draw Repentance. It's so horrible.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it also feels like a deck that its value gets so much better if you draw a Secret Keeper on turn 1. It's kind of like Undertaker, but much better than Undertaker. It's much more punishing if you don't draw it on turn 1, basically.
How do you stop that thing? Like we've all seen now, like who played with all the Undertakers. We've seen it when it happens on turn 1 that hits the board. So if there's like a Secret Keeper on turn 1, when you go first, then turn 2, playing double secrets, you have 3/4 on the board. It's no longer Frostbolt-able.
Frostbolt-able, yeah, that's good.
Dark-bombable.
I think it's actually more balanced than Undertaker because with Undertaker you're actually just still playing your minions, right? If you play a Paladin Secret, you're kind of like, yeah, exactly. I think that's the balance there. But hey, imagine if the Secret Keeper in turn 1, and then you have like the Get Down and the Avenge. That is like the dream, right? Because if they attack into anything, your Secret Keeper gets to be like 1,000,000 health, 1,000,000 damage.
Yeah, like the comparison to Undertaker, it's not exactly like accurate because of the way that in Hunter you used to play good cards, like the Death Rattle cards were cards that were good enough to get played on their own already, unlike the secrets. But it's still like it kind of snowballs in the same fashion at times, or it's possible at least.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to wonder, how do these other decks do against this kind of Paladin? Like Gar's Priest, Aloysius Paladin. Do we have any theory crafting here? It feels like Gar's Priest especially, I would say, would do pretty well. It has a lot of early game minions, and also has like Holy Smite to take care of the initial Secret Keeper.
I think Gar's Priest is pretty well positioned, but Aloysius Paladin was that slow one. I'm not sure.
Slow Paladin might be a problem, but I'm just thinking about the last game, and if Sixo had Eye for an Eye, he would have won the game.
Wow.
No.
He's playing the wrong secrets there.
One copy of Eye for an Eye might be good. I don't know. One day.
Yeah, I mean you catch your opponent off guard with it too.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? I shouldn't attack with my Molten Giant against your face first?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Sixo Druid versus Gar Priest. Temple Storm just tied up the series, so we are going to effectively see a best of 3 from here on out.
Yeah. Sixo's Druid again. Let's see if he gets to play the Darnassus Aspirants this time around. It's an interesting card. What do you guys think of it? I played a little bit with it, and I'm not sure. It's not a wild growth, I think.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so at first glance, I thought that Darnassus Aspirant was kind of like your Wild Growth. Your third Wild Growth, I guess. It's not that good. You will always play Wild Growth over Darnassus Aspirant. But it's actually a very interesting card because if you actually manage to kill in your turn, you can actually trick the Mana Crystal, right? So turn to Aspirant, and then, they play Knife Juggler, and they play Yeti, and then sacrifice the Aspirant. You actually, in a sense, gain the coin. And in that comparison, it's actually just strictly better than Cut Purse, right?
Interesting. I haven't thought about it that way. For me, it's been a tiny bit, overall, it's been a tiny bit, underwhelming. It's amazing when you get to play it on turn 2 or maybe coin it on turn 1. But if you draw it on a later turn, after turn 5, it's just a horrible top deck.
Yeah,
it's definitely a horrible top deck.
And it reminds me a lot of the Totem Golem. It's exactly the same concept. If you draw it on turn 2, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But if you get it on a later turn, it's really underwhelming.
Yeah, a lot of the good 2-drops in the game are like multi-purpose. With, for example, like the Sun Fury Protector is a 2-drop that kind of does still work on later turns. Knife Juggler also, because in the Zoo Warlock it's a lot of pressure if you play it on turn 2, but you can also combo it with Implosion. Works in Paladin, you can combo it with Masterful Battle. But Darkness' Aspirant doesn't really like fully feel that like the double purpose role, in my opinion. It doesn't have a use for on later turns like a lot of the best 2-drops in the game do, like Shrinkmeister also.
Well, yeah, of course. It does fizzle out quite well, but Gara's start is exactly what a priest player is looking for.
Yes, that 3-5 against the Druid, it's really amazing. Druid doesn't have those. Well, now they kind of might have a mulch, but we don't want to mulch this anyway. But Druid has to kill that minion by damage and dealing 5 this early on, it's almost impossible.
Yep.
You have to like do it over multiple times.
Feelings Chosen looks pretty juicy. It only gets stopped by the only card 6-0 has in his hand.
Yeah, this game would just end right here if there was no silence for that 5-8. I don't think there would be anything that 6-0 could do if there was no silence.
Yeah, Holy Smite is gonna possibly do some work, and oh wow, it seems like Gar's gonna save it for possibly a spell power smite even.
Interesting. I kind of I don't know.
Oh,
I guess it's fine.
All right, Emperor's gonna come down here.
Yeah. So Corruptor and Trade looks to be the only way to get rid of it.
Pretty good way of dealing with it.
Yeah, it is pretty smooth.
Yeah, but the Tutor's still alive.
Yeah. Now Azure Drake will come down.
With the Wrath.
Yeah,
Seems
Druid will
pretty good.
get the board again.
That lore, that's a great draw.
Oh man. Yeah.
Looking great from 6-0.
Yeah, Amnesiac was also like telling me how when you play his this is basically Amnesiac's list, right? You want your card draw against Priest so badly because it's usually down to whoever has more cards wins the game. And there you go. Ancient of Lore does exactly
I completely agree. It's really hard for a priest to keep up with the Ancient of Lores, even with one. But if there's 2 Ancient of Lores, it feels almost impossible.
Yeah, I feel like Amnesia's list is pretty good against priests as far as Druid decks go, since it has 2 Azure Drakes as well as the 2 Ancients of Lore. So there's even a higher chance to cycle into something.
Yeah, it's interesting. I like the matchup a lot. It can be argued that or whoever is the favorite. Sometimes a priest can pull off those amazing starts. Like for example here, that Valence, like I said, it could have been end of the game if there was no silence. So priest can do that sometimes with the buffs or in the older versions maybe with like a Blade Master Circle. That was just a game-winning play on its own. But the card draw, the Druid card draw in the late game with those lords and the Azure Drakes, it's almost impossible to keep up with.
It was actually quite interesting how a few turns just went by. So 6-0 decided not to use the Wrath and established the Shredder instead. Feels like the 1 mana Wrath is a bit more flexible later on, and the Shredder is kind of harder to pull off. And Gara, on the other hand, is going to actually get a little bit of value from that play.
Yeah, he got a little bit punished by that, I feel like. I don't know exactly. I guess he wanted to be mana efficient, and the Wrath, yeah, like the Wrath is more flexible, so that's like the thing, But
now the Wrath doesn't kill the Corruptor fully, right? Because the spell power is lost.
He really got punished for that.
Okay. Are we gonna see? Oh wow, that's a Zombie Chow in a sense. Zombie Chow is pretty good here.
Yep. That Keeper still. Ooh, can he use it?
Wow.
How well can he use it?
Not the best. So here at 8 mana, you kind of want to use all your mana. At the same time, you kind of want to draw the Ancient of Lore. But when you draw, you can't deal with the board. So, tricky situation.
You could swipe and draw, then maybe like hero power, swipe and trading there. Okay.
I guess as long as you kill the cleric, that's a good move.
Yeah, just putting as much power in the board as possible relative to your opponent.
Still keeping the The Wrath. He could have went for the Wrath and Pilot Destroyer. I think I would like it slightly more, because now the Twilight Drake gets a trade with the Shredder. He could have protected his Shredder.
Yeah.
And the power level seems a lot around the same. But
I think
there's
his
like,
yeah,
Yeah.
I think his rationale is that he wanted the Wrath to hit something like more expensive, and like you don't feel good about wrathing a 2/2 Twilight Whelp.
no, but
But
it
I-
also like effectively it would save his Shredder, the front half of the Shredder, which
Right.
has to be about something.
Because Wrath is kind of like buying a piece. It's using a 1 mana. Oh!
Whoa, that is
What?
actually very meaningful too.
Wow!
Look at the Goddess face. He's like, what?
Oh man, all the cards in guards are red now.
Oh man.
That has got to be the best one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he at that point he probably wanted to Vol'jin and then Smite, but he was unable to do so.
Oh man, that's a minor setback.
Yeah, it's
Are you-
even less likely these days since there's more like 2-drops in the game. With
Yeah,
2/2s.
that's true.
Wow. Are we finally gonna see the Wrath? He's been holding on to it for so long.
Yeah. No. Well, this
Really?
Twilight Drake once again is only 3 attacks, so everything is gonna survive in Sixel's side. And now Gar's
that's-
facing the same problem. Battle cries cost 2 more.
Yeah. Makes the light bomb any good?
Light
You're
bomb's
gonna have
good.
to do it.
Yeah.
But there's the Doctor Boom. There's no Shadow over that yet.
Oh man. Oh, this is Zero next turn, but there's Savage Roar as well. Wow, this is actually
Yeah.
gonna be a very, very close game.
It sure is. It's so close.
Oh man, and the Shredder to back that up as well. Do you have to Vol'jin and Smite here just to stay
Yeah,
alive?
you have to. You can. There's no way you can leave that up. But even then, there's still gonna be so much stuff remaining.
Oh, man. This is pretty intense. I thought the priest had it because like it was just a dream start, right? But then Keeper of the Grove definitely, you know, stopped that from
Yeah.
happening. Oh man.
Oh.
Oh man, is this lethal? We have 6 plus 6 is 12, and this is 26 damage. So
15
26
plus
is-
12. One off, I think.
Yeah, one off. Because you can also innovate here power. Oh man, 1 damage off lethal. So okay, so
Tried the
instead,
double, but-
no, I mean I definitely silence the Vol'jin here and cycle the Wrath because you really want to draw something else, right?
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you draw a Drew of the Claw, you can cycle a Boombot. There we go. See, exactly.
Wow.
Wow, what a turnaround.
Yeah, sure was.
Oh, Gar got some RNG there with the 1 attack of the Boombot. Actually, I'm just joking. Yeah. What is just too crazy.
Yeah. So do you taunt the Druid of the Claw? What can go wrong if you don't?
Are you worried about a second light bomb?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I guess you don't care about it all that much. Like even
No, I
if there's
charge here just because of the possible Shriekmeister Cabal move.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
Yep,
It would probably still win. I'm pretty sure it would be little no matter what.
that's true. But yeah, I like charging more. It deals damage to the face.
Yeah, I like the charge. It's a tiny bit better. Even if there was the light bomb, it would still leave up there. Like the Boombot would still go to face. The Keeper would survive. The pilot from the Shredder would come out. That's just game right there.
Wow, what a crazy game.
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
It was pretty good.
Oh, the
The
VM. Going to the
reverse-
war.
The reverse combo. Oh man.
You can use up to
Okay.
2 innervates too.
Yeah.
Only like
Just casting him.
8 out of 10.
No, it's a 7 out of 10. He also could have tried to see what's in the Shredder.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you go. Team Archon is on match point against Temple Storm, and Sixo is down to his secret keeper, secret challenger, everything. Mysterious
Everything on the line. That's amazing. That's so hilarious. That
Oh.
Paladin secret. Can you believe it? Like $250,000, and Team Archon is now relying on Paladin secrets. Out of all the things possible, Paladin secrets are what needs to fulfill.
Oh man, and in arena drafts, there's like ratings out of 100, right? Every class rates secret keeper a 1, except for like secret classes where they rate it a 4 out of 100. And now, yeah, like you said, it is so funny that that card might just win $250,000.
I think
There's repentance in the deck, and yeah, like wow.
I think Tempo Storm will be looking to put up the priest again. I think they actually wanted the priest to queue up into the paladin. It just feels like it's a slightly better matchup with like the whelps and the just like a lot of the controlling cards, especially like Holy Smite will be very valuable as well.
Did you think there's a Wild Pyromancer in that list?
No way. I think that list is like 29 cards from similar to the list that Reynad used on stream.
Okay.
And the one
Yeah.
The one card difference is the light bomb.
No, I haven't seen anyone run Wild Pyros in Dragon list. I've seen like 5 different Dragon Priest lists, and I ain't never seen a Wild Pyro.
Seems like they really don't need to use that 1 damage AoE if they have such sticky minions, and just you just need to support them with your heals and whatnot. So there you go, exactly like you said, Savage. The priest is gonna go against the paladin, and we're running down to the finals of this series, 5-4.
I will fight.
Oh man, so this is the problem, right? You just draw your secrets every single time.
Oh, there's divine favors in this deck.
Oh yeah, I mean, if your deck is running like what 10 1-drops, even abuses 12 1-drops, I think that's
I guess you have to play.
Oh wow, did Sixo actually mulligan the divine favor out? Wow.
I think he's probably like hard mulliganing for the Secret Keeper.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So 14 1-drops, right? With the Orange Squire now too? I wouldn't be surprised if the most expensive minion in this deck... it's Mysterious Challenger, actually. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was like... Yeah, it's Mysterious Challenger is the most expensive.
Well, that Squire giving Gara a reasonable turn here. Without that too.
We're gonna see a... abusive here, though.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's the perfect top deck. We have coin and shoot mini bot.
Really nice.
Yeah, now this looks like a normal deck.
Yeah. Except for the redemption, that's not normal.
Wait, so what are you saying, Monk? Are you saying a normal deck is normal paladin is better than the secret paladin?
No, I'm just making an observation that this is slightly more to what we're used to.
Okay.
And I don't know, like if we had seen this hand from 6-0, we wouldn't like be too surprised, right?
Sure. Don't hate the deck.
You see Garo not play the Twilight Whelp there, that's because then his Twilight Guardian and the Blackening Technician would not really function because of the lack of the dragon. He ended up drawing another Twilight Guardian, so it would have worked out better if he just dropped the Whelp, but there was no way to know that the next draw would also be a dragon.
Right. That's a very good observation. And now 6-0, here it seems like a very easy Guardian of Kings on the shielded minibot until you factor in the Holy Nova. So we want to see if Holy Nova can actually make anything stay alive. And well, actually, it's not. Wait a minute.
I need to do it on the minibot.
Wait a minute.
Definitely
Right. Wow.
Yeah. Like one of the best things you can do is use it on Minibot because your opponent he can like either Shadow Word Death or Holy Nova, but he can't do both.
Whoa!
It's kind of backfired pretty bad for Group 6. Well, I'm really curious about that player.
Oh, we have a bunch of secrets now. Wow, if you actually buffed up the shielded minibot, that would have been so insane.
Yeah.
That had to be a misplay.
I kind of want to hear Sixo's comments on why he did that play. But maybe after the game. Here, nothing too spectacular. The redemption only gonna redemp one drop, unless he's going for the trades. He could potentially trade all the one drops, but I don't know.
You don't know. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Holy Nova is going to be so good.
Yeah.
But what exactly is the ordering here?
Oh,
attack first.
We have attack first, and then we're gonna proc a redemption and an avenge.
Ooh.
So if it hits the minibot, that'll be huge.
Oh yeah, but it's only 1 out of 5.
Not quite. And the get down guy actually comes back alive. It's a defender.
Yeah.
Don't see that every day.
Well, I mean, it does still survive. He gets to keep the 4-1, so.
Well,
So the
pass it
Avenge
down.
not completely useless. Xixo definitely needs like a mysterious challenger or divine favorite at this point though.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not bad, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, you would
Yeah,
think that
well-
Sixto actually won the game if he actually buffed up the mini bot, right? There was supposed to be not like what, 8 more damage on the face.
Yeah,
10 more damage.
probably.
Yeah, well, the real key is that Gara wouldn't have been able to deal with that mini bot.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
He would have had to like use his Blackman Corruptor twice, and that's like a little ridiculous.
Oh, actually, you might be playing around Shadow Word Death, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that had to
But
be.
that makes sense. Sure,
If you're
sure.
playing around Shadow Word Death, though, I feel like even if you get Shadow Word Deathed, then the rest of your board still stays up, and you can't really
kind of
like.
okay with the Shadow Word Death.
Okay.
And didn't he even have like a redemption up? So he would have gotten the shielded mini. No, he didn't have a redemption, but still. Yeah. Oh.
Well, it's at that point where seems like the Paladin is out of steam.
Yeah, you could say that. And now Gara can just he can play the Wormer stage and then can safely just Velen's chosen it too. Oh,
Wow.
and there's a power shield.
Yeah.
I wield the power.
That's
I think
pretty
we're gonna
safe
see the
to
Wormer
me.
stage with the shield. Yeah. Kinda sweet. Divine favor into consecration. How about that?
Is that what we're looking for? Oh, we got one piece of the solution.
Yeah.
Now Divine Favor into Leroy.
Wait, how good is a Mysterious Challenger on its own?
It would be really good. I think there's a lot of secrets left. Did he play Did he play any of the secrets 2 copies yet?
No.
So
Everything is
I
just...
think there would be 5 secrets coming out of it if he was to draw it right now.
Right. But now Izera just says tick tick, you know? I'm just gonna...
That's true.
I'll value you with all these damage cards. Funny enough, Izera Awakens might be the worst card.
Yeah, I guess you can't cast it. Oh, interesting.
No, value in the heal.
Wanted to keep the smite. It would have allowed him to push for 7 damage if he just smited the one.
Yep. No.
Oh man. Well, that's not the top deck you wanted.
Actually, yeah, that makes sense. If the priest blade does def your shitty mini bot, you could have everything else as well. So that's a very good point. Well, it's just running out of time.
Oh, and that's lethal.
That's a good one. Divine favor though.
Whoa.
That can help.
Redemption.
Oh,
Whoa. Well, not the 2 cards he was
Okay.
looking for.
not what we're looking for. And we're gonna go down to the final game, where once again we're looking at a possible punishment for bringing this weird paladin list with all the secrets.
Oh man, Team Archon with 5 old deck lists. The Druid had some tiny tweaks in it, but basically 5 old lists and 1 fresh TGT based deck. And now it's the TGT based deck that's letting them down.
I wonder if they actually decided together that, oh yeah, Secret Paladin, let's play that. That's really good.
Yeah. Maybe the deck list isn't quite refined yet. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it runs really, really low cost cards. There's like what 14 1-drops at least, which is something you don't see every day. And then you have to draw like Divine Favor early on too, right? I was so surprised that the Divine Favor was actually just mulligan. I guess you really want to look for that Secret Keeper that badly, but you have like so many bad cards. Like all the secrets are bad.
I think that deck is actually 16 1-drops. Like the
16.
Yeah, the 10 secrets, 2 Archon Squires, 2 Abusives, and the 2 Secret Keepers.
So more than half of your deck are 1-drops. That's insane.
Yeah,
Well,
I think you have to keep the Divine Favor in that deck. I mean, you know that you're playing as a slow priest. You know that the Divine Favor with all those 1-drop, it's gonna be like on turn 4 and turn 5 you just draw 5 cards. It's almost
Right.
guaranteed. How do you not keep it?
Oh no. Well, last game, guys. It's gonna be interesting. And oh man, the dream hand for Eloise there.
Wow.
That is just. Oh wow.
Oh, it got even better.
All right. Well, I think we kind of know where this is gonna go. The shit at mini box is gonna save 6-0 just a little bit, but man, this might just be a steamroll.
Yeah. Not only is like Eloise is gonna cover up perfectly, and that's gonna be even better since she's gonna be able to play like one card every turn at least, and that's gonna like disallow for Divine Favor to get much value.
That's true.
Yeah. Wow. That zombie chow so amazing. The difference between having that and not having it against a deck like the one that Xixo is running is absolutely huge. Oh, but that's a great pickup.
That's pretty good.
Xixo's still behind, but that gives him some hope.
Well, I guess you have an option of actually killing a 1/1 here instead. I mean, you're killing the zombie shot next turn anyways, so it's completely fine.
Yep.
And yeah, like Monk said, every turn is a card played. That makes Divine Favor that much more worse.
Yeah, the equality not gonna find too much value. And Sylvanas, extra boom, maybe those are a little bit slow.
Well, equality does help against Mysterious Challenger. You know, it does deal 5 to it, which is fine.
Yeah, it's decent, I guess. Yeah.
It also like kind of counters Avenge a bit.
Yeah, that too. It seems like the correct, at least from like our point of view, it would be to trade those off. The 1/1s, I guess, because of the consecration potential. Yep. So now consecration is really bad.
Yes. Pretty
Juggler,
epic.
protector. Okay.
Yep. That's not
He wants
bad.
Yeah, the one of the juggles has to hit the minions. It doesn't matter which minion he hits, but not face. Okay.
Alright, good enough.
Yep.
Oh, Eloise shaking her head a little bit there.
Yep.
Going, oh
It's
man.
Oh wow.
Alright, well, Shredder is gonna come down here. And, yeah, we actually, 6-0's best draw right now will be a secret. So they actually use the Divine Favor for more cards. Oh, but is that better?
Wow.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah. So now the equality, not too bad.
6 damage to the face. Equality is not bad.
I mean, it does give a way to deal with that. It's not perfect.
Exactly.
Oh, Justicar Shua, that's not a great card.
It's just teching against the wrong matchups here.
Yeah.
That card is like, I think it's like actually the best card against certain matchups like Priest and Warrior. But it just doesn't match up here against an aggro deck.
No, it doesn't do anything.
Alright, an immediate Consecrate comes down here. We do not want to see a Quartermaster from 6-0 side. And yeah, it actually gives time for Eloise to establish the Justicar and actually just hero power 6-0 out of the game, right?
Potentially.
Oh!
Wow, I think that's even better.
That's way better.
Considering what Xixo is playing, I like that more.
Okay. And there are no Murlocs that are actually like.
Yeah, there's like multiple bodies. He's gonna have 3 minions on the board. I think that's huge. Because all the minions from Xixo are fairly small.
Yeah. Not only
Murloc
does.
Knight is insane.
Yeah. Not only do they have multiple minions, but your opponent has to deal with them, or you're gonna keep spawning like huge Murlocs.
Yeah. It's an interesting situation. I like the Murloc Knight a lot here, but on the other hand, those like the Sylvanas and the Justicar, they can be tricky to play later on. While the Murloc Knight might be something that is easier to squeeze in when you play something else on the same turn.
There are no Murlocs that have a negative effect, right?
Nope.
No.
There's some really great ones.
Like the charge.
Old Murkai and the one that buffs.
Oh!
Whoa!
Devil! Oh my god. Well, at least 6-0 drew a secret there, so Divine Favor is actually gonna put 3 cards. But, oh man!
Old Murkai.
Oh, Secret Keeper comes into the hand. True Silver Champions here as well.
Have we seen a Quartermaster from Xixo in any of these games? Because I don't think we have.
Oh, the Repentance! The Repentance!
Wow.
Oh man. Alright, so Avenge is gonna actually pop here, and the Murkai is probably have to trade with it. But I think you definitely hero power first. So if you get a ward leader, the Murkai actually stays alive.
Yeah, but he could go. She could go for just an older hero power. Is that better? It might be.
If you
Better
hero
than
power
Cool.
and outdoor, you actually keep the most minions on the board.
Yeah,
So that has to be
It would work out the best.
Yeah.
It would work out the best for sure.
I think it also depends on what secrets you expect.
Yeah.
Like what this last secret is.
Oh man, I would love playing against the Secret Paladin deck. It's like kind of making a puzzle for yourself.
Yeah.
You'd also love to play against it because you'd probably win, judging
Oh.
from the track record.
Just going with what's the Murloc
Right.
this time?
Murloc. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Well, that's the worst one, I believe.
Yeah. Even like the 1/1 Grimscale would probably be better here.
alright. Repentance hits the outdoor. That's not really that important. And there are no secrets left. Nope. This looks pretty bad. Don't think this is gonna work out. I think Eloise is gonna seal this game out.
Seems likely.
Yeah, I mean, there's no... I don't think there are any chargers in this deck, right? Wow! Okay, now that's done. That's not gonna happen then. I mean, if you're trading at this point, value minions is just take over, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not gonna work.
The light protects me.
Oh my. That Murloc's just coming huge this game. She did get a little bit lucky. The first one was the best possible she could hope for in the form of the old Murkai. The second one, on the other side, but it was better to get it that way around than first get the small one and then the big one. That
Did
card
the-
is so good.
Did the big one do anything besides hit face on the first time? I don't think it actually hit anything. Right?
No, but I mean, it's still cool to have.
Yeah.
It was extra damage.
Yeah.
And it didn't, like, if she got the small one first, it would have just died to the weapon.
Yeah.
I think there was a one attack weapon.
Well, good. Ordering from Eloise there. Repentance is gonna hit for 1.
I have no time.
She
And,
could like juggle the minions instead of using the weapon.
yeah, that would have saved 1 health actually.
It's a really. Ooh!
Oh, is it not over yet?
It's probably too late though.
It's still
It has to be too late.
Come on, yeah. But still, that is pretty cool. And, yep. Mysterious Challenge is gonna float in the sky for a bit there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 4
Wow,
seconds.
full set when it's too late.
Let me
But
think.
isn't it where there's only one Avenger, one get down, and then Eloise can just use her weapon and then just go all offense,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just it. That's just game. Oh, that has to be game.
Defender.
So yeah, just check with your weapon first, and then just go offense. Cause how much damage is this?
It's
It's like 16, I think.
Yeah, with Argus is enough.
Yeah. It's actually exact lethal.
wow. Here we go.
Okay.
All those secrets.
Uh-huh. And I guess the last one is just doesn't really matter as well, because all of them is going to go for face, and yeah, seems like Temple Storm is gonna take this series. Eloise is pretty happy about still.
Eloise is so relieved.
And yeah, Paladin deck is going to go through, and Temple Storm is one step closer to finale. Team Archon is not out yet though. It is a double elimination bracket.
Yeah.
Wow.
6-0, you can clearly see he was frustrated with himself and his decision to bring this type of deck. Even
Right.
though, I have to say, like, that last game was pretty close.
It was.
I would say that the priest game would have been really close if 6-0 had actually used Bless of Kings on the mini bot, right?
Yeah.
Like we actually kind of talked it out a little bit afterwards. That was the match to win. I don't think that he was ever gonna beat a Zombie Chow opening with like just a perfect curve. But
Yeah.
I think there's one more thing that we need to remind viewers is that everybody in the phase 2 cannot change their deck list, right? So they're actually sealed into their deck list until the end of phase 2. So yeah, we're gonna see that mysterious challenger secret deck come out again tomorrow.
Wow.
Do we have the standings
That's pretty
available?
sick.
Do we have the standings that we can show on screen? I hope we do. Well, apparently we don't, and that's there we go. Yes, we got him. Okay, perfect. So there you go. Temple Storm is gonna advance to the winners match, where the winner of that series is going to go to the live finale later in September, and then we also will put Team Archon there in the losers match. We'll do an extra kind of like a redemption match, if you may. And there you go.
Yeah, so Temple Storm's gonna face the winner of the next match, Foursome Boys versus Nilhum. Temple Storm overall, they brought some pretty interesting decks, and like they'll be scouted out, but I don't think it's like that big of a deal because the only like really wild deck is Eloise's Zoo.
Yeah, they did get pretty well scouted because they both teams use all their decks, right? So you could say that it's maybe a little bit of bigger advantage for the other guys that are playing later, but I think in the end it doesn't really matter. You just gotta have to play your best.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's likely that we will see most of the stuff from the other teams too.
Yeah.
All right.
So actually, right now the record between Archon and Tempo Storm is 1-1. Archon won the first match, right? And then Tempo Storm won the second match. So what I'm predicting is that these two teams will meet up in like the losers bracket finals. And we'll have to play a best of 3. Like the third match is the decider to see who moves on to the live finale.
Wouldn't that be a story? But I think we're gonna go to a short break, and after that we're gonna see Foursome Boys versus Hillam, and we have 12 brand new decks. Hopefully, right? Hopefully, maybe just 10, maybe with 2 patrons, but we can. We'll have to see. So stick with us, guys. We're gonna have a short 3-minute break.